All right. All right, screw the wait. All right, screw the wait. Screw the wait. Screw the wait. I gotta dive in. Mustard! All right. What's up? Steph locked up Steph. Steph did lock up Steph. That was nasty. Heck yeah. Ah, man. All right. Okay. All right. So let's see. What do we talk about, man? It's so much. Have my baby Steph? Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Fandom has officially gone too far. You're a bigger fan than me. And Spurs fan is literally in my name, and you're a bigger fan than me. Can I rant about something really quick? You guys are psychotic. Okay, it's usually not the chat. All right, it's not the chat probably. Dude, I looked at comments. It was driving me so crazy. I typically don't get upset at things, okay? Like comments, all right? I don't look at the comments super often, to be honest. And you know, if it's a controversial, I know that the video is gonna be controversial. Usually I don't really look at it too much. Like I glance and then I move on. But dude, there were so many comments with people saying, "Clan, change your smoke detector alarm." I mean, tell me you weren't on the last live stream without telling me you weren't on the last live stream. Good God. And it wasn't just like, hey man, you probably need to change that. You know, that can be kind of dangerous. It was like, you need to change. You need to stop being lazy. Get a chair and go up there and change. It was driving me crazy. It didn't bother me at all. No, it was driving me crazy. The reason why it was driving me crazy because it was like, it went out the same day. Like, it'll be one thing if it was, okay, the videos that I upload, they're recorded from a stream from a day or two ago. You don't think that I might have changed it since then? Yeah, she's back. She saw I was upset. You don't think that I would have changed it by then? Seriously. It's a pre-recording. It would be one thing if it was like multiple weeks of this and they're like, dude, you really need to change. People were so angry. Thank you, man. Thanks for the super chat. All right, we'll talk about it in a minute. Mitch Johnson is him. He better be Pop's successor. We'll talk about it. Yeah, but it was driving me crazy, man. Cause it was like people actually angry about it. It's like, what's wrong with you? What did you experience in your life? What kind of trauma do you have surrounding around smoke detectors? What is going on? So angry, so much venom in the comments. But yeah, I changed it the next day, but it's like, you're not my dad. I don't have to sit here and explain to you that, well, actually, I changed my smoke detector. Don't yell at me. Screw you. Don't come at me like that. Those comments were irritating. It's like, what's wrong with you people? Like, gosh, dude, like, watch the live streams, okay? We talked about it. I talked about how irritating it was and how, like, I didn't even know if I could sleep in the same room. And I have 2 smoke detectors, all right? The other one would actually pick things up. This one never picks anything up. I have 2. Hey, girl. You okay? You okay? All right. No, don't play with that. Don't play with that. You're gonna break it. You're gonna break it. No, don't do that. You're gonna break it, girl. Don't do that. Cute kitty. Yeah, her name's Mikasa. Okay. All right. You okay? All right. But yeah, I don't know. It was irritating me, man. It was driving me crazy. It was just like, dude, like, I don't know. I'm starting to calm down now that I'm holding a cat. I'll be honest with you. I'm not that upset anymore. We done already? We haven't even talked about anything. Yeah, you guys are, all I want to say is you guys are psychotic, okay? Well, the comment section, you guys are psychotic. That made you way too angry from one video. It like made me question. I was like, God, is this like racially motivated? Like, it's like, oh, I see this black dude. It's one video. Yeah, I watch all your videos, but this one video that I watched, I hear the smoke detector. You need to stop being lazy and go fix it. Like, it was that type of tone. You know, sometimes you can see comments, you can tell the tone. It was that type of tone. It was like, what is wrong with you, dude? Stop being weird, all right? It's one video. It's one video. You need to change that, Clan. One video. Well, a couple videos, but it was from one live stream, one day. Did you change? Do you hear it? I'm about to crash out. Mustard! Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Clan, how dare you? Yeah, how dare I? Beep. Yeah, that thing was loud. Another thing, too, is what sucked about it is that I couldn't take it out. So, like, what I wanted to do is just undo the dang thing and, like, put a battery in it the next day so I could at least sleep in here. But I couldn't even do that because when I turn it to try to take it off, it's like wired a certain way. Everything in the whole bedroom turned off. So it's like I had to turn it back right. Very irritating. Yeah, Clan, you love Soul Plane. Exactly. Like it was just Soul Plane 2, I guess. Oh wait, Switch said that first. Clan, you just need to relax and watch Soul Plane to detox. Shut up. Switch Hill's my best friend in real life. Screw him. Screw you for that. I hate Soul Plane. What a terrible film. What a terrible, terrible depiction of a group of people, of a demographic. What a terrible, horrible movie. You hate Soul Plane too, don't you? Who also hates Soul Plane? You hate Soul Plane, right? See, me and her, we hate that movie. Yeah, Castle's new Rubber Band Man. Rubber Band Man. What's the thing that T.I. said? It was like the worst lyric I've ever heard in my entire life. What'd he say? They call me Candle Guy simply because I stay on fire. So it was like, they call you Candle Guy? Like, when you sound a certain way, you can get away with saying anything. What song was that? T.I. Justin Timberlake. It wasn't Dead and Gone, was it? Was it Dead and Gone? It can't be Dead and Gone. Why would he say that on Dead and Gone? Oh no, this is a T.I. song. I feel like it's a Justin Timberlake song and he just features on it. What? My Love? Oh, it's My Love? Yeah, look how terrible this lyric is. Where is it? Yeah, it is this verse. Shawty cool is a fan on the move once again. Da-da-da-da. Private because I handle my BI. Yeah, here it is. They call me, what is this? They call me Candle Guy. And then he gave himself an ad lib. Why? Why do they call you Candle Guy? Simply because I am on fire. Haha. Look, don't get me wrong. My favorite rapper of all time, Eminem, says some cringy stuff sometimes, but at least you know he's being cringy. Like, he actually said this like it was cool. Like, they call me Candle Guy. They call him Candle Guy. Who calls you that? Why would anyone call you Candle Guy? I guess because simply he stay on fire. Switch said, it's my love. They call me Candle Guy simply because I'm on fire. That's so stupid. They call me Candle Guy simply because I stay on fire. Like, oh my God. The ad lib though makes it so funny though. Why do they call you that? Because I'm on fire. Get it? Nah, I don't get it. That's dumb. When you make a certified classic in Atlanta, you can get away with it. When you make bangers, yeah, you can get away with some bad lyrics. It's not like the latest Eminem album didn't have some bad lyrics in it. But it was like a ratio of like 80 to 20. It was like 80 great lyrics and then 20 cringe ones. 20% cringe ones. Castle is him. Okay, so we're ready to talk about the game now. Kendrick Lamar dropped a new album yesterday and it's incredible. I started off this stream screaming mustard. Okay, it is great. Actually, when I first heard that song, I didn't think that it would take off the way it took off. Like, I loved the song, but I just didn't, I just thought maybe, what's the other one? Squabble Up. I thought Squabble Up would be the one everybody hooks to. But people love that one too, but I didn't know TV Off was going to be the one. And I still like old Kendrick more. It's when you're talking about artists, man, before we get into game, all that, when you're talking about artists, they can't keep doing the same thing. I mean, and I also don't really know what you mean by that. I mean, this album has bangers in it, but like, it's like how do I say this? The album feels like it's a homage to Compton, right? It's like a West Coast album. Like, every song is like West Coast. And someone as great as Kendrick that's not going to just release BS, not going to just come out with an album every single year. He got to be passionate about it. And, he's passionate about his roots. So that's what this one is. It's just, it's like a shout out to all of the West Coast rappers that inspired him. Resurrection is just Tupac. Like, the whole flow is just Tupac. By the way, this is delicious, and I might give me a second one before this stream is over with. It's a great album. But, you're not going to have him do old stuff. Like, people say that about M all the time. They're like, man, I wish M would go back to what he used to do. And it's like, do you, though? It won't really be the same. Do you want that? It won't be as great as you think it is. We're in a whole new world now. And I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, you couldn't say that today. And I don't agree with Eminem saying they're going to cancel me for this. I don't agree with any of that. No one's going to cancel Eminem, okay? He says crazy stuff every album. No one's going to cancel him. He's too big. He's too liked. No one's going to cancel Eminem. But, yeah, you can't do what you used to do. Like, you're not in the same place as you were then. Because Kendrick used to have, like, this God complex, right? Like, not a God complex, but like a savior complex where he has to, like, save hip-hop. Seems like he's kind of off that now. And now he's just like, hey, I'm the greatest of all time. Screw all of you. Clam, we don't need Keldon. Tonight game proved it. I am glad he didn't play. I can't wait for them to trade him for better assets. Somebody got on to me on Twitter about this. They were like, we need Keldon Johnson. You just hating. Shut up. You always hating on him. And I'm like, I don't see Keldon as a player that we need. Okay? Do I think that he's a good player? Yes. Do I think that he helps the team in, many ways? Yes. But I don't think you need Keldon, right? AR Doc 318. Thank you for the super chat, man. Got to give props to Barnes for this win. Go Spurs, go. Oh, for sure. But yeah, like I said, you don't. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. guess because my cat was up here. Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, that was loud. Bless you. Thank you. Why do we say that? Why do we say bless you? Bless the heavens with that one. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. Dude, Keldon helps the team in a myriad of different ways. Don't get me wrong. But no, he's not one of the players that you need, right? Like, you can look at this roster, and there's plenty of players I don't think we absolutely need for the future. I do think, obviously, Wemby. I think Sohan. I think Vassell. And I think Castle. I think those are 4 players right now that we need for the future. That I think that it'll be a huge loss, and you won't get, if you were to trade them, you won't get a good enough return. Where those are guys where I feel like you need them. Everyone else, it's like, I would like to have you, or, you know, maybe not. I just don't think so. But I am happy that we saw a game end with Julian Champagnie in the 4th quarter for most of it. I don't understand for the life of me why we weren't doing that to begin with. We aren't even full strength. Scary. We're nowhere near full strength. Vassell injury prone, needs to go. Keldon stays. Let me tell you something, okay? All right, let me tell you something. If Vassell end up one of those players that in his career he's kind of injury prone, but then you get him near the end going into the playoffs, or you have to kind of reserve him throughout the year a little bit, and in the playoffs is when you take him, he will be huge. Okay? You need him. He's great. You need him. I don't see Vassell necessarily in the future necessarily taking up a spot that would have been better off for somebody else. Like, he is that good. I don't think you'll get a good enough return in this market for Vassell. But if I had to put it in categories, I would say you need Wemby the most. Like, that's the untouchable, right? And I would say you need Sohan and Castle about the same level from defense alone, to be honest with you. Neither one of those guys are even near their peak offensively. Maybe not even near their peak defensively. And then, you know, after those two, then it's Vassell. But Vassell's still in the category of you need him on the team. Everyone else, not to say that, you know, it wouldn't hurt losing Malachi, or wouldn't hurt losing Mamu, or wouldn't hurt losing Keldon. But I feel like it's more temporary hurt. Whereas with Vassell, he's so good till, you know, if we can get him up and running, we'll be fine. We don't even see them play as a whole, and you guys want to trade our players already. Patient, my boys. That's usually how it goes, man. It's like the Spurs are winning, so everyone in the chat will agree with stuff that, you know, me or some other people have said this entire time, and then get maybe a little too excited and like, oh, this guy needs to go, this guy needs to go. You know, we're fine without them. Mind you, the Spurs were getting their butt whooped for a good chunk of this game, okay? All right. This is the number 1 seed after all. And I don't think Curry's 100%. I wanted Vassell out 2 years ago. I don't know why, especially after last season. I guess 2 years ago, if you saw him how I saw him, I saw Vassell more as just like a 3-and-D, and I was content with that. But after last season, I was like, whoa, he's more than that. He's way better than that. But I don't know. I guess if your argument is he's just injury prone and you never think that he'll be healthy, I get it. But I'm actually content with Vassell like 60 game seasons. As long as it's good going into the playoffs, I'm content with it. I'm trying to think if anyone in our big three was really injury prone. Nobody's really injury. Manu wasn't really injury prone. Well, yeah, you can see here Manu Ginobili after a while. One of these is a short season. I think this is the short season, 2011, 2012. But yeah, see 44 games, 75, 80, 34, 60 games, 68 games, 70 games, 58 games, 69 games, 65 games. But he was getting older around that point in time. I don't know. I'm content if Vassell can give us 60-ish games, 60-something games. Let's see, what has he been giving us? Yeah, see, last season he gave us 68 games. Before that was 38. Before that was 71. And his first season in the league, he gave us 62. Which, was that the COVID year? Was that the bubble? That was a weird season. I think that's that season. It wasn't 2019-20. I think it was 2020. Yeah, it was 2020, 2021. This one was a special year. But he can give us 60 something. I think we're fine. If anything, I think we all agree on which part. Hold on, I need to blow my nose, man. Oh, okay. All right. We got some stuff to talk about. Let's go ahead and dive into the game. We got enough people in here. I think it's fine to go ahead and dive into the game. But yeah, guys, I disagree. I think Devin is fine. And while I won't say he's an untouchable, you can't just get like you can't just get crazy when it comes to trading. Okay, you can't just trade anybody. That's not a good strategy. I do agree, though. Some people have said this before, that the Spurs take too long to trade players sometimes. I do agree with that. Sometimes they do, but I don't think Vassell is in that in that category. I don't think he's someone that should be talked about to trade. I don't think that's fair to him. I don't think that's fair. All right, where are we at? Bassey is the Energizer. Bassey didn't even play today, did he? I don't remember seeing him on the court. Mamu's minutes are so inconsistent, and I think today kind of hurt him a little bit. I don't think it was his fault necessarily. I think he's just rusty because he hasn't played. Because I'm used to him hitting threes pretty quickly as soon as he gets in the game. That was not the case. Clan get Mucinex. Yeah, my cat really she did a number on me, man. Collins the GOAT. You said Collins the GOAT? Why are you saying Collins the GOAT? Oh, are you being funny? Oh, goodness, he had the worst. Well, I guess that makes sense. Choose one out of those groups. Cam Thomas. Yeah, I'm going with Cam Thomas. I would never choose Jordan Poole. I've been saying, I'm going to say it again. Trade Collins. 9 blocks as a team is wild. Bassey had 6 the other day alone. He had 6 the other day alone. You would think that 9 is a lot, And then you remember that Wemby can get 9 by himself. I choose Nembhard. That's fine too. Trey Keldon. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this game. We got to talk about this game because it was phenomenal. It was absolutely great. There's one thing that the Spurs decided to do that I've been yelling about this entire time. It was like that SpongeBob clip, you know, when they were like, hey, this is what we've been waiting for this whole time. And all SpongeBob had to do was cook. All he had to do was cook. And that was me talking to Mitch Johnson. Just this one thing, man. And I think the Spurs are better. And he did it. Well, he was kind of forced to do it. But he did do it. So we're going to talk about this game. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment. So we'll talk about the game. I'll go over some BetUS stuff, obviously. And then I'll take a look and we'll just talk to the chat-a-tat-tat here. All right, so let's go ahead and dive straight into this. Everyone's excited about this, okay? I'm excited about this. Good God, the San Antonio Spurs put on an absolute show in that fourth quarter. I don't want to be negative, or I don't want to be a negative Nancy here, but the only thing I'm worried about is only one thing. It's literally one thing that I'm worried about. Everything else is fine. It's one thing I'm worried about. Is that can the Spurs do this away? That's all I need. I just need them to be consistent in away games as well and bring that same energy. But luckily for us, it doesn't necessarily look like the Spurs are getting lucky or it's just momentum shifts. Like, it's not just that. It's the immense of talent, and they've been very consistent with what they are doing on the defensive end. That's the one thing that we can hang our hats on, okay? When our offense gets a little iffy, you know, Wemby doesn't necessarily have, you know, go-to area on the court, which is fine. He did great tonight. I mean, he did pretty good tonight. He was under 500, but he did pretty good tonight. You know, we just don't have it. We just don't have it right now. We're not going to have it. But one thing that they can hang their hats on, they've been consistent with, is good individual defense and pretty great team defense. So they've been consistent with that, and I don't think that that's going to change, okay? I have a very hard time, at least when these two guys on the court. Well, actually, I'm going to say three. When these three guys are on the court, Castle, Victor Wembanyama, and Champagnie, that they're going to give you anything less than their best effort defensively, no matter if they're home or they're away. So I think that that's one thing we can hang our hats on, and we don't necessarily have to worry about that. So with that being said, okay, this game, I didn't think the Spurs would do it. I'd be honest with you. I did not. When the third quarter hit, and, you know, they were keeping it kind of close, and then the Warriors opened it up, and we were down by like 17. I was just like, look, the Warriors number one in the West. This is going to be a tough, you know, comeback. And, like, don't get me wrong, we have great defense, but it's just going to be difficult, right? But the Spurs did it, and they did it pretty quick. Hold on, let's go to the third quarter. We're just getting all the positives out of the way. And I actually have no negatives, to be honest with you, but in the third quarter, let's see when the Spurs got down by like 17. Let's see, 68-56, 74, 75. Here we go. It was like 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left in the game. Down 77-60. Started off down by about 12. But the Spurs battled it, kept it somewhat close, and then they just absolutely destroyed us, right? Now, this is where things got interesting. As soon as Zach Collins sat, Vic came in. Steph Castle, he made a 2-point shot off of a Victor Wembanyama assist. And then it was a foul. It was a stupid foul, by the way. I don't think that this was a foul, but they called a foul. Malachi Branham got to the free throw line. And all this is just great defense all the way around. Malachi hit a 2-point shot. And then Steph Castle hit a huge 3. And then he made a 2-point shot to get us within 10. At that point, going into the fourth, I was pretty convinced that we would go ahead and take care of this win. Because I just knew how clutch our defense has been in these games. and it's going to be a lot on the Warriors, especially when they're not the biggest team in the world, right? Going against Victor Wembanyama, he can basically just get any shot he wants on the court. He's just not necessarily there. He doesn't necessarily have the strength yet, but he can get any shot he wants on the court. So anyways, fourth quarter was great. We all know what happened. Spurs battled it out. They came back. Steph Castle was incredibly clutch, mind you. So the Spurs are tied 90-90. The entire fourth quarter, they're frustrating the Warriors. Like the Warriors can't get a good shot off. They can get shots off, but not good shots, not quality shots, because we were so suffocating. And you have Steph Castle makes a driving layup to tie it 90-90. Then he came down, a few seconds later, said, you know what? I'm going to give y'all a three-piece. And off of a Victor Wembanyama assist, he gave us a three-piece, or he gave the Warriors a three-piece, that is, no sauce. And then 15 minutes, Victor was like, you know what? I'm going to give y'all another three-piece. And that was assisted by Steph Castle. So Victor and Steph, if you guys wanted, that connection, that chemistry, they had it. Those two had it. Says stop doubting the Spurs. Angie, why do you type like that? Wait, you're putting me in there. Okay, I gotta get to that. Yeah, okay. I gotta circle back around to that comment. How am I the one that's... Anyways. All right, so scrolling down. Then Harrison Barnes, he was clutch off of Victor Wembanyama assist. Everything is Victor Wembanyama, by the way. He just completely took over. It was him, Steph Castle, but all of these plays was because of Vic. Gave it to Harrison Barnes and made a layup. And what's scary about the Spurs with all of this, I haven't even talked about the stats of the players. What's scary about this team is that they haven't played together at all. And they look so good at times. They have not played together. I said this last season or near the end of last season. I really did believe that all Vic needs is just high IQ players around him. And it'll just click, because he made so many high IQ plays last season, but we just didn't necessarily have the personnel to go with it. The addition of Castle, Chris Paul, and Harrison Barnes, all three of which very highly skilled, high IQ players, makes it pretty special, right? It makes it pretty doggone special. There was one play in particular I really liked. I don't remember. Did it come in the fourth or the third? You guys can remind me on this. But Vic had a wide open Chris Paul, and the entire play, if you go back and you watch the play, the entire play, Chris Paul, he was open. Like he was absolutely open. And I thought that they were just missing him. And he actually, you could tell him get not actually upset. It's just basketball, right? But he was like, I'm open. You can hear his voice coming through the TV, right? And Wemby had him wide open, but he also realized this is a better shot. He's not going to just give it to Chris Paul because he's a veteran. He's not going to give it to Chris Paul just because he's open. He took it upon himself and said, this is a better shot. I'm 7'5". I'm going at, how do you say his name? Podziemski? I liked him in the draft. I can't remember how to say his name. Podziemski? Brandon Podziemski? He was like, I'm just going to go with him. He's too small. I'm going to get a layup in. And he did that. And Chris Paul shut up. He shut up real quick. He even had a grin on his face. So I love that. I love that so much. I love that the team is just taking upon themselves. They're just all hoopers. It's not like I'm too young. I have to just defer to Chris Paul. I have to defer to Harrison Barnes. No, we're all ballers. Wemby's better than both of them. Take over. It's your team. And I liked that. I liked that a lot. Wasn't selfish. It was just this is a better shot. AirPods? Pods? Okay. Pods has been real bad this season. Well, I'm just saying I liked him in the draft. So, yeah. So, I loved that. Let's see. What else, man? Harrison Barnes was great, but he's always been great. He's been great basically all these games. Even when he's having a bad shooting performance, he's still consistent enough in other facets of the game that keeps him dangerous. So, I'm not really, nothing really to say there. Now, Castle, I know that's the one where everyone is excited, and I'm super excited too, dude. He is going to be a star. I think right now I would say he's the fourth best player on the team, and in the next coming years, gosh, I can't say this with all the confidence in the world because 2025, it's a great draft. But I think as far as the players we have right now, he's going to be better than Sohan, and he's going to be better than Fasel, right? Like, I think undoubtedly he's going to be better than those two. I think he'll be a star in the NBA. So as far as what role he'll play on the team, we don't really know yet, but I love him as a point guard. I think starting point guard is okay, A-okay, all right? It's A-okay. His defense is great. His IQ is great. He's clutch. He's a winner. You don't win. I said this before, but like with UConn, if you watch UConn throughout the tournament, it wasn't that Castle was just there. You know, it wasn't like, oh, he was just part of the team, you know, came off the bench or something and didn't really contribute. He was a huge part. I don't know if they won that last championship or they win that last championship without Castle. He was a huge part of it. Always kept a calm demeanor, made big plays, didn't care about the stat sheet. Sometimes he didn't look that great, right? You look at his stats and it's like, oh, he's terrible. But no, if you actually watch the games, he was really great. He was great. Defensively, offensively, he was great. He played more of a connector role, you know, so people didn't get to see how much utility you can get out of a player like that as a facilitator at times. So he was more so a connector, but he was awesome. He was absolutely awesome. He plays winning basketball, and it's nice that we're starting to see that, you know, in real actual NBA games against real competition. All right. True competition. Beating the Jazz, we should have beat the Jazz. Okay. I don't care how many players we have down. All right. You got Steph Castle, Chris Paul, Harrison Barnes. You should beat them. But this was a test. And it's not like the Warriors were playing lackluster. Now, I know that Steph, isn't he coming off of an injury? Let's see. I haven't kept up with the Warriors a lot. Am I tripping? Or was he just hurt going into the season? I don't know. You guys can correct me on that. I'm not 100%. He been back, I thought. Yeah, it looks like he has. Maybe I'm just tripping. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'm just tripping. Or maybe did he get banged up? I don't know. But what I do know is this was by far, this is facts, this was by far his worst performance of the season. It was undoubtedly his worst performance of the season. He had the worst field goal percentage of any game this season. Worst 3-point percentage of any game. Well, no, other than the Cleveland game, November 8th, it looks like. He had a worse 3-point percentage. But what's really telling when you look at his stats is, yes, don't get me wrong, Steph Curry is phenomenal 3-point shooter, greatest 3-point shooter to ever walk this earth, and he's going to take a lot of threes. But I think in this game, the context of this game, him taking 10 threes just shows how ridiculous, how much of a hawk the Spurs were on him. Like it felt like, okay, now I'm settling, right? He wasn't going to be able to get to the paint because of Wemby. Steph Castle is just not giving you a lot of room, and he's fighting around screens like a madman. He's just not giving you a lot of space. And I thought that Steph Curry really struggled. Now, if we were in a 7-game series, I think that Curry could have, came back, right? I mean, he could have in his second game 2, game 3. I think he will have some good showings. But we don't care about that. In this game in particular, it was amazing. Steph Castle was all up on him. He just looked uncomfortable. And the shot that he did, there was 1 3 that he made, okay? He made 3, but there was 1 3 in particular he made where it's like, yeah, only Curry can make that shot. I mean, he shot over Champagnie and Castle, both of which made the right read to close in on him. But he's just Steph. Now, let me go ahead and just say this. Okay, well, I'll get to it in a minute. There's one thing in particular that the Spurs did at the end, and then I'll look at the comments in a second, that I'm just so happy that they actually did it, dude. It drove me crazy that they weren't doing it to begin with. So before we do that, big shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment, as always. I wanted to look at, after this win, I wanted to look at NBA champions and the Spurs' likelihood of winning a championship. Super low. But it's not the worst, okay? It's not the worst. Now, this is actually a good telltale sign, okay? Because you can see the Atlanta Hawks has a much worse chance. And that's what we want, right? It's an indicator that the Hawks suck. All right. It's an indicator that they're awful. And it's a good indicator for us that we could potentially end up getting 2, first round picks. And the funny thing about it is the Hawks are in the East, a objectively worse conference. And yeah, their odds of getting a championship is way worse than the Spurs, like 5 times worse than the Spurs. So if you wanted to bet on the Spurs, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't recommend it. They just say you want to do $10 to give you $1,500. All right, you'll make $1,500 if the Spurs win the championship this year. But if you're gonna do it, I definitely suggest you go with the Celtics or, well, that's not gonna give you that much. You probably need to risk a little bit. I don't know, Celtics, Nuggets, Thunder. Thunder's a little bit more, something like that. Or the winnings is a little bit better. But anyways, if you guys are interested in BetUS, go check it out. Use promo code YouTube150. Receive 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% bonus on your second and third deposit, up to $2,000. Go check that out. And like I said, use promo code YouTube150. All right, so as far as what I seen in this game, what the heck? Oh, I forgot we were on Steph Curry stuff. Hold on, let's go to this. So what I saw from this game that I was so happy, and they were forced to do it. Mitch Johnson was forced to do it, okay? So I can't give him too much credit for this. But I guess 2 things. Number 1, rotations were on point. He had really great rotations in this game. They obviously had a concrete game plan with, who was here, who wasn't. And the Spurs aren't going to play you just because, you got X amount of minutes last game. They're not going to do that. He did a really good job as the flow of the game went, adjusting and who's helping us more than others. Very typical, coaching stuff. But I thought the rotations were solid. And with that being said, one thing in particular that he was forced to do was in the game, or a big chunk of the fourth quarter, play Julian Champagnie. I do not understand for the life of me why we have not been finishing games with Julian Champagnie. I don't know what you're getting out of, and I'm not. This is not going on a hate train, okay? I just didn't understand what you were getting out of playing Keldon over Champagnie in these fourth quarters. I don't. Defense, Champagnie's obviously better. Offense, Champagnie hasn't been giving you that much offensively, but Keldon hasn't been giving you anything in the fourths. I don't get it. Keldon in the OKC game was hot going into the fourth. Meanwhile, Julian, who ended with 11 shots, 3 for 5 at the end of the first half. I agree with having Keldon start the fourth quarter. Oh, well, okay. I guess I need to rephrase it. I didn't understand finishing the game off with Keldon Johnson. I don't get it. I don't know what you're getting out of it, I don't know. I don't get it. I think at the end of the day, a big chunk of the fourth quarter should be, players that are going to finish strong, right? And they've been doing a good job of making sure, or at least in this game, they made a good job making sure who's going to finish strong. I think they finished with Trey Jones. Obviously, he's a good finisher, right? He's not going to make a lot of dumb mistakes at the end of games. They finished with him, Castle. You're going to always finish with Castle. He's just that guy. No matter who you get in the 2025 draft, Castle is going to be a finisher in these games. They didn't finish with Chris Paul, which is fine because you're finishing with Trey Jones. Vic, obviously, Harrison Barnes, and Julian Champagnie. Why in the heck would you not end it with Julian? I don't get it. Or a big chunk of the fourth with Julian. I don't get that. Because he did a great job defensively. He didn't need a lot of help defensively. He was a good help defender. He just did a great job all the way around. Seniority, that's stupid. I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm saying like that's dumb. Like we don't need to do that anymore. What's the point of that? That's my thing. In GS, you says Keldon is streaky. Sometimes you can finish with him, but when he starts to play hero ball or sleep on defense, then bring Julian. It's too often. I don't want a streak. It's fine if he's coming off the bench and being a a spark plug. That's cool. That's fine. That's cool. You can start off quarters with Keldon and be totally fine. That's cool. All right. If you're down, like in this game when we were down, I don't think Keldon would have hurt us. I think he actually would have helped us in those situations. That's fine. If we need a shot, that is absolutely fine. But when it's the last like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, everything changes. Teams play smarter. You don't need a streaky player out there. It's been the same thing for all the role players that we've had. You don't want a streaky player out there. You need somebody that's going to be pretty consistent, at least in one area of the game. At least in one. Danny Green, we can say what we want about Danny Green, okay? I mean, Lord knows I have, okay? It got to a point in his career he was very streaky offensively, but you could always lean on him defensively. And in those fourth quarters, the end of the fourth quarters, you can lean on him. It's fine for him to be out there. So that's my thing. So I'm glad that they at least got a sample size of what it looks like if you just end with it was nothing dumb. No one made any like crazy mistakes. It was pretty solid. Castle almost gave up the ball at the end, but he didn't, he didn't. And yeah, it was just good overall. And by the way, some people that it was a few people. It was a few people after the last video or a couple videos ago where they said, well, Clan, they actually weren't getting on to Keldon about the tech at the end of the game. It wasn't the tech they were getting on to him about, Chris Paul and Barnes. So it was actually because of the dunk or something, or not the dunk. It was like, because he didn't take care of the ball and it almost got stolen. I was like, no. Harrison Barnes said after the game that they talked to him about the tech. So unless Harrison Barnes is just lying, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. But enough about that. So let me just let that be known. I know whoever sees this video in the future and they're like, oh my God, you're going on a rant about Keldon again. I just think that this game shows that you need games with strong finishers. Are you going to make mistakes here and there? Yes, sure. But it's too often. It's way too often. Okay, way too often for comfort. He's not going to change that. He's that type of player. That's fine. I don't hate Keldon. I like Keldon. I think that he's a really strong player when it comes to when you're down, by a deficit, or you just need a little bit of a spark plug. He's great for that. I just don't like finishing games with him. He's not consistent enough of a finisher. And it was the same thing last year too. So it's not like I'm just going off of a few games and I'm just being, reactionary. I'm not. This is a long time coming. Oh God, is that true? Keldon injured his hammy on that dunk. Is that true? Is that why he was out today, dude? Jeez. You remember when he accidentally injured Julian Chimpini? Like his teeth like hit his chin or something. I can't remember. Or was it his forehead? It might have been his forehead and he was bleeding. It's always something goofy, man. It's always something silly. Was it Julian? I feel like it was Julian. That was last season. All right, let me go up to this comment because I promised I would react to it because it was kind of crazy. I was like, what the heck? Why you mention me for? All right, hold on. I'll bring it on screen. All right, where are you? Oh crap, does it stop? Oh, I guess it does stop. Okay, I think I can still find it on... That's weird. Oh, this is how I see super chats. Well, dang it, guys. When you give a super chat, I should just wait and then just go to here. I didn't know that. All right, well, I got the comment up over here. So, oh, wait, you can see it on here. No, you can't. All right, so the comment is from Angie. All you got to do is look at the individual talent and skill of each player and combine them together. That's all. And all this is in caps, by the way. We have a winning team, Clan. Just trust the process. Stop doubting the Spurs. When have I doubted the Spurs? I don't quite understand. I actually feel like my projection for where the Spurs will land this season is actually much more than what a lot of people think, right? I feel like a lot of Spurs fans rolled with, oh man, I should move this to the right a little bit. A lot of Spurs fans rolled with the Spurs winning 30 to 35 games, and my projection is 44. I don't know what you mean by doubted the Spurs. And also, I've always doubted, or I never doubted our front office either. Yeah, 44 wins is pretty charitable, and especially in the West, man. And also, I mean, the only thing I guess I can think of is you saying like, well, they're you don't think they'll make the playoffs, which I don't. But like, let's see, Spurs or not Spurs. Do NBA standings. I'm basing off of last season. And yeah, for them to make the playoffs, like surely be in the playoffs, they got to have about 50 wins. I don't know, man. If you think they get 50 wins, I mean, that's fine. I just don't agree. That's a lot to ask for this team. But I think we're much better than last season. Oh, wait. You commented again. Just things that you say. Your wordplay is somewhat bad, but not just you, Clan. I'm talking about Spurs fans that has any doubts. My wordplay? Wait, Angie, are you the one? Angie, I feel like you're the one that was upset because I was like, at one point I was like, man, the Spurs are playing so filthy or something. Are you and I don't mean this in a like negative way, okay? I actually mean this in an honest way. Is English your first language? Cause like when you say, cause I'll say like the Spurs are nasty, right? But like that means good. Like laughing at me, Clan? Okay, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I give up. I tried. I tried. What's the consensus on Blake Wesley? I like him. I like Blake Wesley. I given up on the idea that yes, that's me. I didn't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. See? Yeah, like yeah, that's like it's not a negative thing. It's actually a good thing. Like if I'm like, now if I say they're trash, that's me being negative. But I don't say that. But if I say like they're filthy, like oh my god, that was so nasty, that's actually a good thing. That means they were good. But yeah, anyways, Blake Wesley, I given up on the idea that he's a point guard. I just don't think he'll be a suitable enough point guard. But he's similar to Steph. I mean, other than your passing ability, but similar to Steph, he's a guy that you can kind of fit into different places and be totally fine. He's not a lockdown defender, but he's a good defender, right? He gives you 110%. For the most part, he's pretty controlled. It's going to take a little bit more time for him to come into his own. I don't think he's fully where he needs to be yet, but overall, he's cool. I like him. All right, I like him. He's good. I like him a lot. And like I said, this game, I thought that coaching did a really good job of paying attention to the flow of the game, not overplaying players, not underplaying players. You saw that Blake Wesley was quite effective. I'm sure going into this game, they figured he would be quite effective. And yeah, they made sure to give him some minutes. So I do like having your core, and with, because this isn't the bench that we're going to have in the future. And even the starters, this isn't even the starters we're going to have in the future. But I do like playing your core and then, adjusting who you play that's coming off the bench. And I think the Spurs have the right type of guys to get that done too, because no one is selfish. No one cares. They just want to win. Like Chris Paul, he didn't finish this game, but I don't think he was sitting on the bench like, I really want to finish. He just wanted Castle to do well. He wanted Trey Jones to do well. And you just have the right type of guys on a team where you can afford to play this guy sometimes, not play him at all other times. You know, it just depends. City Sissoko, I don't expect him to get any minutes like whatsoever. He's just not there yet. But I still think that he could be a secret weapon in the future. Clan, don't you think us doing better and making adjustments after the first half is a sign of really good coaching at the halftime? Yeah, I think our coaching has been phenomenal, man. I think the adjustments, I think that the rotations, and I really like that Mitch Johnson is coming into his own, where you're starting to see him get onto players way more often, right? It seemed like he's like taking over, like, okay, this is, for at least for the time being, this is my team. I'm taking over. You're seeing him communicate with refs way more often than we did the first few games. So yeah, he's coming into his own, and it's great. Natural at it. I wouldn't be surprised if, when it's all said and done, that Pop, vets him like, yeah, he's that guy. But you don't hire somebody, especially on the Spurs staff, right? You can see it with Becky Hammond. You don't hire somebody unless they're really good. They're good at what they do. So, yeah. Yep, Clan, you're right about Mitch. I can see him taking over for good. Yeah, and you know what? I think we should hold back expectations just a little bit. I do think that he's a really good coach. I think he's been doing a great job, but I think we need to reserve it just a little bit. Not because I think Pop is coming back, because I don't. I saw someone pretty upset in the comment section on my last video where I was like, yeah, I don't think Pop's coming back, guys. And they were like, you don't know that. It's up to him. And I'm like, at that age, I don't know. I just don't know that. I don't know. But I really want to hold back only because this isn't his program. It is Pop's program. Okay. These are, this is the foundation is Pop's. So I don't want to just be like, oh yeah, he's perfect and this, that, third. But I also don't want to say the other thing where it's like, oh, he won't be as good because he doesn't have a program. You just gotta wait. But I do think that as a coach, he's a good coach and he's fine. And one thing to keep in mind as well is it's a system, right? I think that one thing that's lost is like Popovich helped create the system that is San Antonio. How all these different departments, communicate with each other, how they're always going about it the right way. The ideology that Pop instills in his players, that it's all about togetherness, that you're not above the team. All that stuff is great. And now it's like deeply embedded in San Antonio culture and deeply embedded into their system and the type of people that they get, the type of coaches that they hire. That it's a whole system now. And I think that with having a system like that, if you take Popovich out of it, the system will still go, right? Like the system will still go. You can see, you can look at all facets of life, right? We can look at, I don't want to get too deep about it, but we can look at politics. You could look at, I'm just trying to think of systems. Capitalism. You could look at the Amazon at this point, right? Like you could look at big companies and see it too. If you take out the CEO or the president of some of these companies or whatnot, sometimes it doesn't really matter. Like some things are so big and they have such a good system of how things work, like Walmart. No one knows who comes in and out of Walmart as far as like the presidents of these higher positions. You don't know because it's just such a good system, right? So I think that the Spurs, they've been chugging for so long and it's such a powerful system. And then you have Wembanyama right in the heart of it as far as your star power, and his personality is perfect for the Spurs. I think you take Pop out, they'll still be able to keep it going. You'll never get another Pop. You'll never have a good enough coach like Pop. But at the end of the day, you might not have to. Other coaches have created dynasties as well. I have been part of dynasties as well. So, I don't think Steve Kerr is a better coach than Pop or anything, And Steve Kerr took over the system, left by Marky Boy. And yeah, he has a dynasty. So yeah, I don't know. That's all I have to say. Yeah, Mark Jackson. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Just, it's going to keep chugging along. The system is there. You're going to be okay. But I think that's enough for this segment. Spurs did great. I think we kind of got off topic, but they did great. They did awesome. And it keeps going, man. It keeps going. You can't change the system. It's the same. It's the same system. It's the same system. All right. It's the same system. But don't, yes, not start. No one has done this, but yes, don't disrespect Pop. Right? Pop is the greatest of all time. He's still a far better coach than a lot of people in the NBA. But yeah, we should try Brett Brown as head coach. Why? Why? I mean, I'm cool with it. Brett Brown is a really good coach, but like, why? I think we should just wait it out. Just wait it out. I mean, these guys are responding to Mitch Johnson. I don't really see a point in that. And saying like stripping it from him next season, if that's the case, you know, just get it. I don't know. Pop is the best GOAT. He's the absolute GOAT. I really hope he's okay. I know that they say he's going through rehab and everything. So, yeah. Anyways, end this segment. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, here's the full. What should we go over? We're getting spoiled with all these press conferences or post conferences. Who should we start with? You guys want to start with? I feel like we have to do Mitch Johnson, and I think Harrison Barnes should be a separate one. I'm talking about post game. I think Harrison Barnes should be a separate one. I just have a vibe that he should be a second one. Let's just combine Mitch Johnson and Castle. I think we should do that. That's what we're gonna do. Coach Mitch. I call him Coach Johnson. You might call him Coach Mitch, but Frosty, I call him Coach Johnson. All right, so let's do it, man. We'll go over the press conference. Shout out to Spurs reporter for posting this because I didn't see it on the YouTube channel yet, but I'm okay with these. All right, it feels like we're there with them, right? It feels authentic. Look at that angle. Look at that angle. All right. So we'll take a look at what our boy Mitch Johnson had to say. I'm sorry, he's not a boy, he's a man. What Mitch Johnson had to say, and then we'll take a look at what Steph Castle has to say. In between, we'll talk about today's sponsor. By the way, big shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment as well. All right, let's go ahead and do it. Let's do it. Let's listen. Take him out. I don't even know what we're talking about. Hold on, let me turn this all the way down because it sounds like the volume's kind of low.
What did you think of the defensive effort?
What did you think of the defensive effort, if you didn't hear that?
It was excellent. 13 points in the fourth quarter versus a team that has been there many times and thrives in those moments. Is very happy with.
Wait a minute. I need to know something. Hold on. Let's see. Team stat leaders. The Golden State Warriors. I mean, now they're probably lower, but the Golden State Warriors third in the NBA in points per game. Third and we left them in 94. Where are we? We're too far down. I don't know. 20 something. Wow. Third. That's pretty impressive. I didn't realize they were third.
The physicality with the connectivity, it was our best quarter to date, in my opinion, defensively.
How much of the defense affected Steph, Curry, and how much was him just being off a little bit?
Oh, I hate those questions. I hate those questions. The question was, how much of it was Steph Curry being off and how much was it for your defense? I don't even know how you're supposed to answer that, without being disrespectful to Steph. You just have to say, Steph is a great player. He's an awesome player. Maybe he was a little, off. I mean, you probably don't want to say that. Don't say that. I don't know. He's a great player, but the San Antonio Spurs, our team, they did a great job, he's very hard to control, and we had to send a lot of bodies there, but we did a good job. That's all you gotta say. Just focus on what your team did well rather than what he did wrong. Let's see if the coach is ready for the task. All right, this is the test.
He missed some shots he makes every game, so I thought we did a good job of making it tough on him. I wouldn't dare to say we did anything to take him out, but I thought we did not give them opportunities to make easy shots in the fourth quarter.
There you go. Focus on what you did well, and also saying Steph is great.
Stephon Castle is getting this opportunity to see all these different types of high-level scorers on a pretty regular basis. What have you noticed in how he's adjusted to these different stars around the league?
He's a mature young man. He's seen a lot. He's been put in a lot of different positions from our staff, on and off the ball, on offensive and defensively, and just very happy with his approach and consistency. He's had many games where he started off maybe a little shaky, I don't know if that's the right word, but the way he's been able to finish as strong as he has says a lot about a young man that hasn't been doing this very long.
What makes Castle so special is that every single Spurs fan, even myself included, are a little bit more skeptical, or critique prone now that we have Wemby. Everyone recognizes you have Wemby, you have to start building around him, and the Spurs have been doing this. But that also comes with looking at the guys around him. So certain guys that we might have been a little bit more charitable about prior, we're not as charitable to now. Now, I was never like that with Sohan. I thought that he was always great on the defensive end, and that was enough for me, and his versatility, enough from inside, enough for me to say, hey, it's fine if he struggles offensively for now. But a lot of people were not okay with Sohan last season. They were very angry. They wanted him traded. They want this player traded, this player traded. And the fact that you bring in Castle and he can have games, because everyone's going to be more critical. They're going to be more criticism prone when you have Wemby. The fact that he has these games where he can have terrible percentages and you can't find anybody saying he had a bad game is kind of mind-blowing. I think it really shows. It's kind of like the "what have you done for me lately" mentality, because every single fourth quarter he is finished strong. So everyone just kind of focused on that, and that just shows how good he is, that no one is like, why is he start? I want Trey Jones to get more minutes to him. No one has said that. And that just speaks to how good he's been, that he can have bad, statistic wise, he's not having bad games, but bad shooting performances, and people still say he's great. He's nowhere near where he's going to be offensively.
The sequence where he shoots the air ball and then turns around and takes it back from Steph Curry, does that just sort of typify his mentality?
He's a competitive young man. I think him taking that deep three is another, make or miss. It takes a lot to take that shot in that moment, right? It feels good when you make it. You get the credit when you make it.
Good point.
To be able to take that, I think he might have missed a mid-range and then the air ball and all that stuff, and to be able to take it without hesitation and that type of conviction says a lot.
A lot of games in the NBA. Oh gosh, that was loud. Thanks for the super chat. We'll take a look at that after, because now I know how to look at it. But yeah, no, that says a lot about him. A lot of plays in the NBA are just on the fly. It's not like, not every play is we take a timeout, and now you're going to go take this shot. And now we need to take another timeout. Okay, this is a big situation. I need you to take the shot. Okay, like certain situations when it's like 10 seconds left on the clock, you need to write something up, right? You got a timeout, you need to write something up, and we have a plan. This is our first option, second option, third option, blah blah blah, right? But I feel like a lot of these games, especially in the fourth, it's just been, just play in rhythm, right? Play with one another. You've been here before, do your thing. And it's been very impressive to see Castle take it upon himself, not in a selfish way. These are good shots he's taken, but enough confidence in himself, a confidence in his ability to take a deep three in that situation. He's not afraid. He's not scared. A lot of, and this is the difference when you see guys that are late in the first round versus guys, and that might be talented, versus guys that are that early in the lottery, right? He has the mentality where he's that guy. He's him. He doesn't need any convincing. Like, I know I compared him to, okay, that's another super chat. Thank you so much, Chris. I'll take a look at it after. But it's so impressive that you take somebody that reminds me in certain ways of Derek White, just how consistent he is and how good he is on the defensive end. But he has all the confidence in the world, obviously more talented than Derek, but he also has all the confidence in the world that Derek didn't have, and it took a long time for him to gain that confidence. It's just huge. He's the full package, man. He's the full package. I'm sorry. That was a mini rant. I got excited.
And then with Vic, it just appeared to you he just needed some minutes to get his legs under him, and then by the fourth quarter he seemed like he's off now.
Yeah, he's had a off and on start like we've all talked about for a few months now. So some of his stints were probably a little shorter just to try to maximize his production and effort. But I thought he was a grown man in the fourth quarter. I thought some of his rebounds, some of his catches, some of his passes, some of the simple stuff that is a really big emphasis for him because he does these amazing things. It's so natural that when he can command the fundamentals and dominate the fundamentals, he's low.
9 assists, is that a push?
He said he was a grown man in the fourth quarter. That type of language, he's getting onto them, ain't he? He's getting onto them.
And his game is maybe not appreciated as much as what he does in other areas.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we're continuing to learn how to play off him and put him in spots to take advantage of situations. But again, I thought his fundamentals, especially late tonight, were elite. And when he does that, it will be scary.
You're just making his adjustment to teams playing a lot of small defenders against him and, getting up into him.
Yeah.
They don't have anybody to play. And by the way, it's going to be even more dangerous when Sohan is here. So the reporter mentioned that they were playing like a lot of small guys against them. But honestly, I don't think the Warriors really have much of a choice. Unless you get Looney on them. But it's going to be even more dangerous because when you have Sohan out there, a lot of teams are just going to try to put their center, on Sohan, and he's fast enough to get past them. And then on top of it, Wemby, once he come into his own, as far as like finding his go-to shots and all that, you won't be able to just put small guys on him. He got to get a little bit stronger and everything. But yeah, you just won't be able to do it. So it's going to be nasty. Those two are going to be nasty. That's going to be a nasty duo, I think.
I think he's taken his time a little bit more. I think he's been a little bit more decisive. I think there's times where, because of that type of defense, there's going to be a initial level of resistance or physicality, and when he plays through that, I think that's where we're getting a ton of opportunities because they have no choice but to help. And then I think he's going to also start putting an emphasis on the refs and get some more free throws.
As for a team that last year tended to start strong and fade late in games, to do the complete opposite of that the last couple of games. I know you don't want to start slow, but does it say something about the progress of the team, the way you have been able to shake off those tough starts the last few games?
I think so. I think it's fair to say I think the young guys should get credit for some of the progression and maturity that they've shown in those situations, especially against some of the teams that we've showed it against.
And is it it's not just having old guys around, the young guys are handling it better than they did last year, right?
No question.
Fast forward too quick, but you guys go.
Sorry, I don't have a comment on that. That wasn't.
What's your fourth time playing? If you count the preseason, is there any benefit to that, or is it the opposite? You'd rather not play the same team so much
sure you can make an argument for either. I'll say I don't think there'll be any surprises either side. But yeah, the schedule's funny like that sometimes. You just
Wait, do we have to play the Warriors again soon? We don't have to play the Warriors till March. What are we talking about? I have no idea why that was brought up. We have to play the Kings pretty close to one another. Denver back-to-back. That's annoying. Lakers back to... Oh, there's a lot of back. Oh, my God. Memphis back-to-back. You got the Lakers back-to-back. You got the Pacers back-to-back. Dallas back-to-back. That's dumb. That's dumb. Castle is 6'7". He's a 3-size body, bigger than a guard. I've heard 6'7", but I think he's 6'6". Pretty sure he's 6'6". All right.
get a team and knock it out quickly.
Be an easy scout.
Mitch, back to Victor, just the knack of, even if the shot isn't going down in those first three
Castle isn't 6'5". He's definitely at least 6'6".
quarters, fourth quarter rolls around and, there he is, lights out. Just, if you can just kind of speak to that quality that not many seem to have, but he's got it already.
He embraces moments for sure. And I think he's just continuing to learn how to take advantage of different moments. And obviously he made some big shots, but again, I think some of the passes and some of the simple plays are just good of an example or reflection of that.
Are you guys expecting this much offensive production from Harrison? Even with Wemby coming back tonight, he still had 22 points.
Yeah, he's been extremely efficient, and he's been able to do that over his career. So expectation, I'm not sure, but I wouldn't say we're surprised either.
Earlier today, Zach was saying that the mindset is not, hey, we have guys out. It's just, we got to focus on winning, making sure we're doing our best. What does a win like this without Jeremy and Devin do for that mentality moving forward?
I think it's just something we've gotten used to. I don't know. I mean, this isn't our first game with those circumstances, and it's not changing. And it's just part of the season. When you look across the league, there's a lot of injuries and guys out. So it's just something where you're trying to prepare everybody. It's the next man up, but it's nice to see everybody embrace that, not only for themselves but for their teammates.
Okay, that wasn't that interesting of a press conference. That wasn't that interesting of a press conference. It was fine though. It was fine. All right. We got to listen to what our boy Steph has to say. But you know what? I think we're gonna talk about something. Okay, we're gonna talk about BetUS. Okay, if you guys are interested in BetUS at all, please go check it out, man. Just go to BetUS.com. And yeah, just use promo code YouTube150. You'll receive 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% bonus on your second and third deposit, up to $2,000. Yes, this is a sponsor. But by the way, guys, just looking at NBA championship winners, we already looked at this one, but just bringing it up once again, San Antonio Spurs, they don't have great odds, okay? Actually, terrible odds. But like I said, the Atlanta Hawks have not been doing too hot, okay? So you see Atlanta Hawks, their chances are very low. Small indicator, but also a big indicator that the Spurs are doing a great job. So let's see here. Or we're going to have a really good draft. So you can see here, they've been kind of up and down, right? They had a huge win against the Celtics, won by one, barely. Then, they won against the Wizards. Not too shocking there. But they've recently lost to the Trailblazers, barely beat the Kings, lost to the Warriors, lost to the Bulls. So in the long scheme of things, we're hoping that they can get kicked out of the playoff picture completely. Okay, we need them all the way down here. Right now, kind of close to 500, not so much. But as time goes on, it should just get worse and worse, and we need them out. They're trying their best to win because why not? They have nothing to really play for. I mean, the only thing they've talked about is just developing. So yeah, they have nothing to play for right now. So they're not going to try to tank, and I mean, all they can really do is try to win. So yeah, great stuff. But right now they are 7th seed, and hopefully, when it's all said and done, they're even worse. But like I said, back to BetUS, they have them no chance whatsoever of winning it. Okay, if they were to win it, which I mean, why even entertain it? But $10, they give you 5,000 right there. Okay, just put $10 in there, they'll give you 5,000. But yeah, there's many different things on BetUS. If you want to check it out, please go check it out. You use promo code YouTube150. All right, let's go into the second order of business here.
Just being.
No, we're not ready for you yet, man. Look at him. He know how good he is. Hold on. All right, wait, I'll bring it up in a sec. Wait, no, yeah, I'll bring it up right now. Second screen. This is why you need 3 screens, okay? I only have 2 screens. All right, I'm about to do it.
You start by just how you approached your assignment guarding Steph Curry.
Yeah, I mean, coming into the game, I mean, my mindset was strictly on defense really all night. Not really trying to take him out the game because I know how hard that is to do. So just being realistic, just trying to limit as many shots as I can from him, kind of keep him off the line as much as I can. And I mean, with the help of our bigs, protecting the paint, being up the ball screens, probably did a good job on it.
So he basically just said, hey, you can't. What kind of. This maturity is not normal, okay? The Spurs created him in a lab, all right? Similar to Kawhi. They literally just create these players in a lab. What the heck are we talking about? Wemby? What are we talking about? Wemby is ridiculous, too. Did this young player just say, hey, I knew going into this game I'm not going to be able to stop him. I just tried my best to slow it down, make it uncomfortable for him, give him no room to breathe. Like, he really came into this. He didn't come in with any type of ego like, yeah, I came in to try to, not that he would say this, but you can tell from his demeanor on the court as well that he doesn't have that type of ego. That's huge for him to just be like, yeah, I didn't expect to necessarily, him not to be able to do what he does, but I just wanted to make it uncomfortable for him. That's huge. That's huge from T.I. That's huge from TIP.
Unique about guarding Curry as opposed to some of the other stars you've had to guard this year?
I mean, probably the most unique thing is his movement off the ball. You see people saying it for the last couple of days. The play doesn't start until he passes it. So, just being able to chase him around those screens, it's hard to do. They have great screeners. They work on that. They cut off of it. So, it's hard to guard. But that's probably the most unique thing about it. Most stars, they get it off the bounce, come off ball screens. But he's coming off pin downs, elevators, stuff like that. So it's a lot harder to guard.
Did you do anything to prepare for that? Did you watch more film on him?
That's a good question.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you still got to go out there and play. You could watch all the film in the world and you can still go for 40. So, just trying to change my tracking on him. When he's getting off ball screens, trying to get on the outside of the screen, don't get hit by the screen. Just doing whatever I can to chase him off the line, and just trusting in our bigs to help.
What's this process been like?
That's a really good point. Yeah, you can watch all the film in the world, but you still have to play them. And also, the NBA schedule, man, you don't get a chance to just. It's not like the NFL where you have an entire week and maybe several weeks and months to prepare for certain teams. In the NBA, it's just back to back to back to back to back. It seems like they get a scouting report, and that's kind of, a report on the players, and that's kind of a wrap, right?
For you, you've had to guard one of the, if
Or
not
Castle
the
gun.
best player on
There he
every
is.
team on a pretty regular basis. What's the process been like for you having to see these different types of stars every night, really?
I've been
It's been great.
smoking and
It's
I've
something
been
that I've asked
drinking.
for. I feel like that was part of the reason why they drafted me to come here, was to come in right away and do that. They know I have the abilities to do it. I feel like my teammates really believe in my abilities to do it. So just staying in the gym, watching film has been the main thing. But I love doing it. I feel like it helps our team tremendously. I feel like if we set the tone on the defensive end, especially at the point of attack, I feel like that sets the tone for the game. So
That deep.
By the way, this is an actual point of attack defender. Okay, this is the closest thing, one of the closest things you're gonna get to lockdown defender. Now you got these freakishly crazy one player in the world named Wembanyama, but this is realistic of when you're talking about a lockdown player. He's not gonna literally every player he goes against is gonna go 1 for 50 or whatever, but this is the closest thing that you can get to that is a Steph Castle. So everybody that was like, oh, I saw this come. Oh, this drove me crazy, guys. This was early on. It hasn't really happened as much since. But I saw so many people saying, wow, Steph Castle reminds me of Dejounte Murray. No, dude. No. Dejounte Murray is not a point of attack defender. Dejounte Murray is not a lockdown defender. He never was. Even with the Spurs, he was decent. He was decent in the lanes. He was a good disruptor. But no, he was never a lockdown. He was never like a phenomenal elite defender. You know, I don't know. I hated that so much. I hated that. They play nothing alike at all. Nothing. Not even close. These are two separate players. Bro is way better than Dejounte Murray. Especially at this age. Yes.
On the handoff from Vic, when you're trailing him down the court.
Guys, where did Steph go?
If he gives it to me, I'm gonna shoot it.
There he is.
I mean, it was more just in the moment. I wasn't really thinking that. I mean, I was hoping for a foul. I think I got elbowed in the face, like the possession right before, but
he getting no calls.
Yeah, it was a big play. I'm happy to see it go down, but just more happy about the trust my teammates got in me taking those shots.
Is that part of wanting the ball in that moment, wanting to be able to take? I mean, that mindset of, I'm just looking for a good shot. Does it come with? I guess they're not shying away from the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever shot.
It's just not shying away, But it is kind of like I'm gonna take over, or I think it's just more so confidence in himself. You have the opportunity, you have the opening, and it's a pacing thing too. That's the one thing that's really special about Castle is like he doesn't overexert himself, and he takes the shots in good opportune time. He has really good pacing. Right? Like everything lines up perfectly because of his pacing. He doesn't go too fast. He doesn't try to skip to the conclusion. He doesn't miss out on steps, right? It's like a movie, right? Like a really great movie, the ones that are masterpieces, like, Parasite, Hereditary, films like this. The pacing is nearly perfect. It's nearly perfect. It's executed when it needs to be executed. Right? It doesn't go too fast. It doesn't go too slow. It's when it's time to really take over. When it's time to hit those peaks that they hit it. At the perfect timing, and just leads into it beautifully. I feel like Castle's pacing is really great. He goes at his own pace, but he doesn't do too much. And those opportunities are going to present himself. And if they don't, that's fine, right? But he's not going to miss any of the the steps, right? He's not gonna miss any of the steps. Clan with the film knowledge, yeah, man. I could name off more films. Korean film, I Saw the Devil. That's a phenomenal movie. You should watch it. Wait, was that a Korean film, or I think that's a Japanese film actually? Okay, I'm gonna look that up. We'll let Castle talk. You guys should watch that movie if you can take it. It's a great film.
Right away from big moments like that. I mean, playing against guys that I've been watching since I was a little kid, to have the ball in my hands in that moment, I feel like that's something only a rookie could ask for. So, I mean, shying away from it would be doing myself a disservice. So, I mean, just the confidence that I have in myself and my teammates to take that shot was, the reason why I took it, and it felt good. So,
you mentioned playing against.
It's a Korean film.
You've been watching it since you were a little kid, and I guess Curry has been.
Yes, Vane, The Welling. Guys, watch The Welling. That's a great film, too. It's so good. The Welling is good, too, Clang. Yes, it's so good. Oh, such a great film. Okay, Okay. We need to do this segment. I'm going to bring up one more film, and then maybe we'll talk about movies later.
In the league,
in the live stream.
Around kindergarten. Like, do you ever allow yourself a moment just to think, look at who I'm guarding, look, he's right here. Any moment like that, or you just...
I mean,
Don't get
First
starstruck.
couple possessions, yeah,
Nah.
don't get starstruck, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're still trying to win a basketball game. I mean, he doesn't really care about who's guarding him at the end of the day. So, I mean, me being scared to guard him or shying away from him because he's a player that I've liked to watch when I was younger. I mean, I said earlier, but I mean that's just doing myself a disservice and really our team. So, I mean, just going into those moments, just relying on the film that I've watched, relying on our schemes, just relying on my confident defense that I have myself and my teammates have. So.
What does that do for your confidence?
What a phenomenal way of answering that question, and he means it too. He doesn't care. Like he said it without saying it. All right, we'll just be honest. Like that Key and Peele skit. You guys remember that Key and Peele skit where it's like Obama talking, and he's like all diplomatic, and then you got Keegan-Michael Key just like losing it, like trying to be his interpreter. He's basically saying, I don't care who's in front of me. I don't care who we're going against. I'm gonna bring it. Like it doesn't matter. You mean nothing to me. Okay, you're dirt. All right. This is like Kendrick Lamar versus the rap industry. I do not care who you are. I don't care. That was his diplomatic way of saying that.
On defense to know that you helped hold one of the greatest shooters of all time, the 3 for 10 from
I mean, my confidence on defense is always high. It doesn't really get shaken by makes or misses. But to do that to a guy like that, I mean, it definitely raises it a little bit. I'll say that.
Did somebody suggest you start the Go Spurs coach chant? Or was that you?
Nah, that was me.
You weren't around last.
He did? He started a Ghost Spur. I know he got hype. He did? That's pretty cool. Oh, by the way, here's the movie. I actually gave you guys a twofer, okay? Everybody that's seeing this video after the fact, if you want some really great films, okay? Some really great foreign films. A Tale of Two Sisters. This is my favorite horror film of all time, okay? It's beautiful. Do not watch the English version. I can't remember what the English version's called, but it's absolute garbage, okay? It's absolute trash. They filmed it like a Disney movie. Don't watch that. Watch this. This is a scary film, and it's awesome, and it has a crazy twist. It's great. So this is a good one. And here's one that I would definitely consider. Well, I'll consider Tale of Two Sisters a masterpiece. But here's another masterpiece. Watch this one, The Handmaiden. All right, absolute masterpiece. Twists and turns everywhere. Great, well crafted, perfect film. Go watch it. What's another foreign film? Godzilla -1. That was cool too. I cried. I saw that movie twice in theaters, but you've probably seen that already.
Last year, but the locker room, I'm sure, was very different. What is it like now, just even in the time you've been here? How is the team feeling? Is there more confidence, more trust being built?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't here last year, but I've heard about how the locker room was, but just being in our locker room, I feel like we're pretty connected. We believe in our abilities to really make a run in the playoffs this year. So just going game by game, day by day, not trying to skip any steps, but I feel like we have a pretty connected locker room.
And I saw
watch Don't Come Home. Okay, I can't vouch for it, but I'll take. Fane knows what he's talking about, so I'll watch it. I'm putting it in my list right now.
Draymond set a couple of really hard picks, and he was grabbing you and holding you and stuff out there. What is your mindset?
He was holding
at that
you.
Moment, like you seemed to be zeroed in on your chore, on your task.
I mean, yeah, coming in, I mean, Draymond's not any stranger. I mean, you know how he's gonna play. But I mean, it's not just Draymond. They all set hard screens, especially off ball. I mean, that's how they play. Just having a guy like Curry, off the ball a lot. You have to be a great screener.
You got to be careful, man.
Not to get hurt. It's just basketball. I mean, I know it's not personal. So, I'm not really, thinking he's, trying to take me out the game or anything like that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm trying to fight through it because I have an assignment. So.
All right, this won't help the memes that I always talk about Sohan, Keldon in these segments. But like, I was just thinking, it's going to be so annoying for everyone in the league when you have, because you're not going to be able to do anything. Okay, like just picture the Spurs at their peak. Okay, defensively, and everyone's healthy. And yes, say on the court you have Devin Vassell. Obviously, we'll have some more players. In the future, maybe we'll have a new power forward and Sohan to come off the bench. I don't know, but like right now, you have Wemby, Devin Vassell, Sohan, Steph Castle. Like, you won't be able to do anything. And then you'll have Sohan just in your ear being absolutely obnoxious, annoying, picking on you, doing small things to break you. Like it's going to be great. Because and it's cool because you're not going to be able to do anything about it. Yeah, you can get upset, you can get fired up, he can wake you up. But like, what, you going to dunk on Wemby? Like, how are you going to show your dominance? You can't. You're just going to get frustrated and angry, get a tech, team going to fall apart, and we'll go home happy that we just pissed you off. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. When we're actually healthy and we're at our peak, yeah, we're going to be, it's going to be like the Warriors all over again, where the Warriors just won so many games, just dominating everyone. I can see it for the Spurs. It's going to happen.
Defensively or offensively or both, does it seem like you and Victor are finding a rhythm, especially down the stretch of games?
Yeah, I'll say so. I mean, this was Vic's first game back, but just the games that we've had this season already, I feel like we've connected and, you know, meshed pretty well.
Connect and McCain aren't better than Castle. Dudes can't play defense like him. Who in the comments is saying that? I know McCain has been having good offensive performances, but like his team really sucks, guys. Like his team really sucks. He's been doing a good job, but yeah, no, Castle's better than them.
Especially defensively, his ability at the rim to block shots, me being able to get over screens. I feel like that just, you know, you put those two together. I mean, that's a great picture to paint. So, yeah.
Oh, how the media talks about how they're rookie of the year versus not talking about Castle. Castle gets a lot of praise when he's actually on TV. But yeah, you're right. They've been kind of hyper fixating on McCain. But honestly, I think the reason being too is because McCain has said it. Didn't he say he was aiming for rookie of the year? Whereas Castle could probably care less. Wait, that's not a good picture of Castle. There we go. Yeah, Castle can basically like care less. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if he gets it or not. But yeah, he's the best rookie. The only problem with rookie of the year is they only count stats. Yeah, that is an issue. That is an issue. We'll see though. We'll see. Timberwolves won rookie of the year back to back. Spurs can this year too. Yeah, if they're paying attention at all, it's very obvious who's the better rookie here. But at the end of the day, you know, it'll be nice for us to see it and be like, oh, heck yeah, we got 2 rookie of the years in a row. But like, in the long scheme of things, yeah, no one really cares. No one really focuses on rookie of the year. I don't think that I mean, it's certain players, you know, when you're in like the GOAT category, you know, we look at stats like that, or not stats, awards like that. Like, oh, he was also rookie of the year. Right off the bat, he was great. But someone like Steph Castle, there will be no point in the NBA where he's the best player because he won't be the best player on his own team. So, like, I don't think that'll ever happen. And I don't think he'll end up, even though I think he'll be a star, I don't know if he'll end up in that category, that conversation, right? But, you know, so for talking points, no one would really care. I mean, do we care that Manu wasn't a rookie? No, we don't care. No one cares. But I don't know. Maybe him being rookie of the year would have helped him because they won't even put him on a top. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't. Was it Ginobili they didn't put on a top 100 list? Or was it Tony Parker? I think it was Ginobili. Ginobili didn't make the top 100, which is... God, that was so stupid. Wasn't it Ginobili? Correct me, chat. Somebody in chat tell me. I don't want to end this segment until someone tells me. Yes, I think. Oh gosh, that's not convincing. I'm pretty sure he was left out. I think Tony Parker was in it. Let's see. People casual see them as role players. Yeah, Manu was rated like 60. Oh, he was? Oh, was it? No. This is top 76. They did a 76 or 75, 76 list because of the anniversary. I meant the official, because I think this was the official NBA anniversary team. Yeah, he didn't make it. See, at this point, heck no, they're not going to put Manu over James Worthy, you know? They're not going to put him over George Gervin. By the way, George Gervin was better than Reggie Miller. What a crazy list. Wait, was Tony Parker on this list? Okay, they got Steve Nash on here. Tony Parker has to be on this list. Kawhi Leonard at 33. That's pretty high. Kevin Garnett. Yeah, Tony Parker didn't make this list either. You not finding them? Control find. Oops. No Tony Parker. Well, I guess I gotta say Ginobili. Yeah. Wow, no Tony Parker either. Who list is this? This was the official NBA list. They did their 75th anniversary team. And they did their top 70. Yeah. And they didn't have them on there. They had Damian Lillard. Yeah, I know. Damian Lillard made the top 75, which is crazy. And a lot of these players, not to be disrespectful, I know the game has adjusted or whatever. But I think the problem came where certain players, they didn't want to push out, right? Like they were trying their best to be as respectful as possible, and they didn't want to kick them out. But unfortunately, guys, I'm sorry. I won't go as far as to say the 90s and 80s players, because even though the game was played differently, I think skill-wise, they definitely would be stars in today's league. But some of these eras, like we're talking the 40s, NBA in the 40s, the 1940s. Some people unfortunately, you just got to kick them out. I think they were just trying to keep as many people as possible that were on the original list, and they want to kick people out. And that's the problem. Like I said, a lot of the players from the era of the 80s, maybe even part of the 70s, I'm not going to just fully say, oh, they're garbage cans. But like, when you were going all the way back to the 40s, man, I think we need to make some exceptions here. Okay, well, that just shows my ignorance then. Dolph was like the first GOAT of the NBA. I just think you're just being respectful. I guess that's okay, I guess. I don't know. It's still a terrible list. I mean, still a terrible list. Even when we look at modern players, I don't think I take Reggie Miller over George Gervin. And I also don't think I take James Harden over either one of those two. Call me crazy, but I think in the long scheme of things, I'll probably take Steve Nash over Kawhi, career-wise. Yeah. And then I think the only one they got right was 1 and 2. Or at least 1. Yeah, they got Michael Jordan at 1. That's the only thing they got right. LeBron at 2 is fine, obviously. Wait, where was Duncan? Oh, Duncan made 8. Let's see, does that make me angry? Larry Bird, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul. No, we're okay. We're good. It'd be silly for me to argue with that. I think Duncan's a top 3, top 5. Well, not top 3. I think Duncan's a top 5, but whatever. Where's Kobe? Kobe's 10. Shaq 11. KD 12. Hakeem Olajuwon. It's so hard because all these are great players, right? So it's kind of like you can just change them around how you want. Well, I'm sorry, Tony Parker not being in a top 75 list, but meanwhile you got Steve Nash in there is crazy to me. Duncan at 8 is wild. I give him top 5. You're crazy, bro. Which part? Which part do you disagree with? And then we'll end this segment. This went on way too long. Oh my God, we've been on this segment for 41 minutes. This is going to be a long video. I'm uploading the whole thing too. Nash is a 2-time MVP. Oh, is that what I'm crazy about? Oh, he's calling you crazy. Okay, not me. Oh, sorry. No, I think Nash definitely deserves to be on here. I just don't see why, like, Tony Parker is that worse. You know, like, Nash is 37, but, like, Tony Parker is, like, out of 75 players in the NBA. Get out of here. I don't agree with that. It is disrespect. It is disrespect. Man's a finals MVP. What are we talking about? Yeah. Anyways, shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment. All right, let's end it. Gosh, that was a long segment. I was not expecting that to go. It's 1 a.m. How many things have we talked about? 2 things? I did not realize that. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. All right, guys. We've been going strong. We have Harrison Barnes. I do want to listen to Harrison Barnes. So last time I didn't go over his segment, and I kind of regret it because I watched it later, and it actually said he actually said something that I think would have clarified a lot. So a lot of people were confused, or quite a few people were confused on, what was the issue with the end of the game. They thought that maybe, or of the last game, not this game that just happened, but the last game in which Keldon almost turned the ball over and then he dunked crazily and got a tech. And I knew that the reason why Barnes and Chris Paul was upset was because of the tech, right? Like that's what I thought it was. But a lot of people thought, oh no, it was because he wasn't taking care of the ball and it almost got stripped. I was like, no. And Harrison Barnes ended up saying that later, but I wasn't able to go over it. So I think we need to catch more of Harrison Barnes stuff because I don't think he's just a complete robot, man. I think that he actually just tell it how it is. So let's hear what he has to say about this past game.
From Julian shooting the ball, CP running the show, things like that. But I think to see everyone collectively being able to participate in impact winning, I think that's what I draw the biggest joy from.
Victor had 9 assists, found you a couple of times late. What do you think of his passing? And what makes him so good in that area?
I think for him, it's just slowing down. I mean, he's a willing passer. He has great court vision. Obviously, teams, he's the number 1 on the scouting reports. The teams are going to throw a lot of different schemes and a lot of different bodies at him. So I think for him, it's just slowing down. And when he can do that, he's going to make the right read.
That's really great that he said that because, like I said in the other segment, that's what makes Steph Castle so special, right? Like the pace that he goes, that he can just slow down, go at his own pace. And Wemby talked about this last season where he was like, hey, one thing that I love about Kevin Durant, and it was the first time he played Kevin Durant, was that he goes at his own pace, right? So it's very important that Wemby finds that. And it also just shows how special Castle is too, that he already has it.
10 times.
3 straight games now for you in terms of 20+ points. How much of that is the previous 2 games just giving the team what it needs, maybe with Victor and Devin and Jeremy out, and tonight, combined with tonight, kind of finding your offense within the flow and still getting a 20+ point game?
Yeah, for me, I don't really have too many expectations coming into games offensively. I think it's mostly just reading and reacting off the guys who are out there. Sometimes you get more shots than others, but I think the biggest thing is just being active, being moving. Obviously, we talked about Victor's passing, just being able to, like I said, move off of him. He draws so much attention, get open shots. CP, Steph, those guys in the pick and roll, drawing to, probing, making the right reads. So for me, it's just a matter of just, like I said, just being active and just taking the shots as they come to you.
Facts. Renee says, I think that's how you say your name. Hey, Clan. Let's say we play a game tomorrow and you have to start either Castle or Devin Vassell shooting guard. Who do you choose? Castle has been clutch. I'll choose Castle, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Harrison, one of the things that you've done really, really well in the last few games is play good defense. Like, is that something that when you came and you heard what the game plan was going to be, that you upped in the gym? How did that happen?
What? Wait, what's the question? Hold on.
Drawing to, probing, making the right reads. So for me, it's just a matter of just, like I said, just being active and just taking the shots as they come to you.
Harrison, one of the things that you've done really, really well in the last few games is play good defense. Like, is that something that when you came and you heard what the game plan was going to be, that you upped in the gym? How did that happen?
Well, we know that defense is something that we can bring every night, and one of our goals is to be a top 10 defense, this season. So I think just really focusing on that, knowing that somewhere or another we're going to have somebody step up to give us offense, but defensively, how can we?
What did he say?
Somewhere or another we're going to have somebody step up to give us offense, but defensively, knowing that somewhere or another we're going to have somebody step up to give us offense, but defensively.
I'm trying to catch his words there. Hold on.
Somewhere or another we're going to have so I think just really focusing on that, knowing that somewhere or another we're going to have somebody step up to give us offense, but defense.
Okay. I thought he said another year and a half, and I was like, okay, so he's definitely thinking he's going to ride out this contract. Like, there won't be a trade before deadline. But I don't think that's what he said. I think he said we're going to have another. I think his words just kind of combined a little bit, some way or another. Oh, okay.
Defensively, how can that? Somewhere or another we're going to have somebody step up.
Some way or another. Yeah, it just sounds like year and a half. I don't know. I got excited. Never mind.
We, do our part to make sure that we're solid and not just have to, rely on Vic making, ridiculous plays and going out and getting 10 blocks, something like that.
What do you make of Vic's ability to, I don't want to say flip a switch, but he seems to be able to go from not having the best game of his life to now it's the fourth quarter and he's taking over. That's kind of rare.
It's funny, there was a clip floating around on Instagram of Mo Salah talking about this exact thing. I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like, every game you can always just find a moment. And I think Vic does that better than anybody, just finding that moment, regardless of what's going on, to say, okay, this is what my team needs from me here in this moment, whether it's scoring, defending, playmaking, just being a presence. I think
this is what made Tony special, this is what made Manu special, and this is what made Timmy special. And it's also what makes Castle special.
That's what makes him truly unique. And obviously, I played with Steph for a long time. He had that ability to do that too. But I think Vic has an ability to just flip that switch and just impact, rather than just simply say, okay, I'm just going to score the basketball.
Thank you, Harrison.
You love to see it. That actually was good. Okay, we gotta. Every time Harrison speaks, we gotta go over his now. We can't skip it. We can't get lazy here, okay? Harrison Barnes has by far been. Harrison Barnes probably been the best, along with Chris Paul. I'm gonna say Harrison Barnes and Chris Paul post-game interviews, top tier, okay? Pretty great. No, I'm gonna throw Castle in there too. All of them been great. I will admit Coach Mitch Johnson's haven't been the best, but there's only so much that you can ask the man, right? There's only so much you can ask the man. All right. Any other thoughts about this? Barnes' press was really nice to listen to. You hear how much he loves our young role players and seeing them succeed. If you guys didn't know this, there's no special information though, but the Spurs have tried to get Harrison Barnes for a long time. Like, Harrison Barnes has wanted to be a Spur for a long time, and things just never fell through. But this is years in the making, right? And then even Chris Paul, at one point in his career, when he was really, really good, that he could have came to San Antonio, and he thought that Pop was going to retire, so that was his big driving force not to come. And then he ended up going to Houston. I think I'm pretty sure that's when he went to Houston. But anyways, Harrison Barnes had wanted to be a Spur for the longest, and you can tell he is a Spur. He is a Spur. He's going to be very loved whenever that time goes and he leaves. So, good stuff. Now Pop is sick. Yeah, now Pop is sick. That's true. No lies. No lies. No lie. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I wanted to answer this question from Renee just really quick. So earlier she said, "Hey Clan, let's say we play a game tomorrow and you have to start either Castle or Fasel as shooting guard. Who do you choose?" Castle has been clutch. Honestly, the more I think about it, and I talked to my boy Swish Hill about this as well, I really do think that Fasel coming off the bench will be totally fine, right? If that's the direction they want to go in, not just because of the injury, but he brought up, and this is a great point, that he could very well end up taking like a Manu Ginobili role, and everyone keeps guessing like, oh, was it Lonnie that was going to be that? Was it Derek White that was going to be that? Maybe Fasel could be that. Who knows? But he would be an excellent like 6-man, and then you could even still play him at the end of games and finish off games with them. The starter sometimes doesn't matter as much. But yeah, I love Castle as a starter. If I had to choose between the two, I love Castle as a starter. I hope I elaborate on that a little bit. We're going to make that a short. We got to make that a short. Castle right now, no question. He's not even in his final form yet and is more reliable. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's go to the super chats. Do we have a question here? Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is actually absolutely true. So shout out to Chris here. He made a comment. He gave a super chat and then gave a comment. Thanks for the super chat. He says, "We're just playing way better now in the third and fourth quarter compared to last year. A year ago, we were in the middle of an 18-game losing streak. We're +6 wins from last season." Yeah, what's even crazier to think about, I mean, this just shows how great of fans we are, okay? The Spurs, they just got their 9th win, right? We just got our 9th win. Swish Hill actually brought this up to me, and I was like, wait, what? So we just got our 9th win. It is November 23rd when we won that. But if we go to... Oh, wait a minute. I thought I clicked full schedule. Okay, maybe I didn't. If you go to last season, you want to see when the Spurs got their 9th win? Spurs got their 9th win last season in January, the end of January. 2 months from now is getting their 9th win. We really stuck it out. That was tough. That's a lot of losses. That's a lot of losses. And they weren't even like good losses. It weren't like, oh, games are super close. We lost to the Pacers 152 to 111 this one game. 126 to 105. This one's fairly close, but I think it was one of those where it looks closer than it actually was. 118 to 113, 123 to 87. Like, it was just annihilation. Now, as the season went on, I think the Spurs started playing a little bit better, right? And, they just kind of fell apart in the second halves of games. And I knew that would be fixed with the addition of Chris Paul. But yeah, keep that in mind, that's how long it took. And they were 9-36. It wasn't until January 26th. And it took a 31-point game from Sohan. I don't think... Did Wemby play this game? Going down memory lane. I guess he played the game. Yeah, he played. Yeah, it took a crazy great performance. Actually, from Sohan, Vic, and Keldon. Keldon had a good game. 16. Keldon had 16 rebounds and 21 points in that game. Good God. Yeah, it was all, you can tell it was all them. Because Sochan had 14 rebounds, Vic had 12, and Keldon had 16. Like, that was a lot of fight. And you got nothing off the bench. You got nothing off the bench. Say what you want about Pop, but like, how do you work with this? You got nothing. Even though I miss Chetty, I do think it was a good move to allow, him and Doug to not be here. Our roster is undoubtedly, objectively much better than it was last season. But yeah, man, crazy. That's when Sochan was point guard. No, Sochan wasn't point guard. Because I feel like we misremember that too. He was point guard for a while, but that stopped pretty soon. Let me see. Oh gosh, how am I gonna find this? I don't know how I would find this unless I just go through every single game. Okay, Trey Jones still coming off the bench. I wish we could just go straight to the next game so I can look. But yeah, no, he wasn't still point guard in January. It lasted a while for like 20 games. Yeah, I think it might have been like 20-ish. Let's see. Let's just pick another random one. I won't do this all night, but let's go to Minnesota. I know Devin ran it at one point. Trey Jones still coming off the bench. We really care about when Trey Jones came off the bench. Oh my gosh, that was loud. Okay, I'll take a look at this super chat in a minute. I don't know. It lasted a while, but at some point they had Devin Vassell run point and then switched him out with Trey Jones. But the reason why I know that it's misremembered is because people thought that we started winning after that, but we were still losing. Like, we still lost, obviously, a lot of games. It's not like around this area is when Trey Jones was the point guard and Sochan was no longer. No, it was like pretty sure it was during the losing streak. Yeah, it was ugly. But I think a lot came out of it. I think Sochan is he was always a high IQ player, but I think he's gotten even better since then. Anyways, just want to put that in perspective that yes, the Spurs are much better than they were last season. And we're on the up, man. We're on the up and up. So, good stuff. Let's see. Let's look at our roster here. All right. Chris, thank you for the super chat. Again, my boy. What the heck? He said, what position would you want San Antonio to draft next year? Chat, answer that. And if this is a video later on, answer it in the comments. So looking at this roster, all right, so I just brought up the roster here. Not the prettiest visual. But as far as what we absolutely need, there's a few things, right? But I think the most important thing that you should aim for this upcoming season is a small forward. It feels like we're kind of still in the boat that we were back in the day when, we were trying to force Richard Jefferson into being the position that we need. Well, he was that position, but being the type of player that we need at that position. But we're pretty thin at small forward, right? Harrison Barnes is great, but obviously he won't be with the team forever, right? He's not part of the main group that's going to be here years down the line when everyone's in their prime and all that. That probably won't happen. But he's a really great placeholder. And he's a good, he's a good player to kind of scout out what we need. But small forward is definitely that. So huge upgrade this season, but it's only temporary. And I think the Spurs know that. They're like, hey, we need a small forward This is a veteran guy that'll help the young guys, and it'll just be kind of a placeholder for now. So you definitely need a small forward. I think that's top of the list. A lot of people will like start off with you need a backup center. I think you need a small forward. I think you need a small forward undoubtedly. So get you a small forward, and I also think that we need a shooter. So I mean, that's not a surprise, right? Not to say that we're trash or anything. I think Malachi is a suitable shooter at this point, you know, for what you need, for what you're using him for. I think he can be so much more, and I think that he would actually hit his peak, not with the Spurs. All right, so he might legitimately end up being one of those players that if he leaves the Spurs and he successful somewhere else, fans will be like, oh my goodness, we let him go. But I do think that for what he is, you know, kind of, he's pretty much a 3-level scorer. Great in the pick and roll. He was in college. So I think we can't use him in that way though, right? Like when you have Chris Paul, when you have Steph Castle, when you have Wemby bringing the ball down the court quite often, Trey Jones, you just don't have a lot of room for Malachi to be like a on-ball, you know, type player. So they've used him more of a shooter, but I personally don't think that's necessarily is. He's a fine shooter, but I don't think that that's what he is. Julian Champagnie is totally fine. He's gonna only be better when you're actually able to have him come off the bench, you know, when everyone's healthy or whatnot. So he's fine. He's kind of closer to what we would need. And then who else? Who else is shooting okay? I think Zach Collins is shooting fine. You know, I know we talk about him a lot, but he's not taking that many. But I think his percentage is good. Yeah, it's actually really good. He's shooting 38%, but he's not even getting 2 threes up a game. So he's not averaging at least 2 threes up a game. So it's, you know, you need more than that. I wouldn't call him a shooter. I would not call him a shooter. Any stretch of the imagination. Mamu is awesome, but you need somebody that's more than likely in that shooting guard, small forward position that can actually score the basketball. I think that's probably the second most important. And then third, I would say backup with Wemby. Now, the sweet thing about this upcoming draft is that the Spurs, how things are looking, guys, the Spurs could end up having all of their picks, which I did not think was going to happen. I did not think that they will be able to do it. So look at this. So you got Chicago's protected 1 through 10. So that just basically means Chicago needs to be pretty doggone good. So let's see. We'll just say NBA standings. So yeah, we just need Chicago to be pretty good. Right now, they're in the playoff spot. Hopefully, they're better than what they are. But you know, pretty mid, I would say. But yeah, we need them to do pretty well, right? Just be around this range, and I think that kicks them out. Undoubtedly, that'll kick them out of being able to get that, you know, that top 10 protected, right? So they're better than might expect it, so that's good. The Hawks have gotten quite lucky with some of these wins. Like, they're barely scraping by. I expect them to really start losing. But anyways, that's another point. And then you have the Hornets. Now, this is the one that no one thought would convey. By the way, Brian Wright is a good GM, okay? I think we need to say that. And we should have been saying that before you see the Spurs doing well. I can't stand everyone that just had, like, this mentality like you're only great once you win a championship. Like, really? Come on. He's been making some great moves. I thought that a lot of the moves that he made, if it didn't pan out with players, I wouldn't have put 100% on him for that, because he's making great moves year after year. Anyways. The Hornets, I thought that the Hornets would actually, let's see, it's protected 1 through 14. Right now, the Hornets are 6 or 10, but you can see that they're much better than we actually expected. So a lot of these, they're really close. I mean, they're literally a game within getting into the playoffs. So it's possible that the Hornets and the Bulls could be in the play-in, if not the playoffs. And if they were to do that, then yeah, dude, we have a great shot of actually getting at least one of their picks. And then you see here, the Atlanta Hawks, no protections, so we just want them to be as bad as possible. And then we have our own, and more than likely we won't make the playoffs. So yeah, the Spurs are looking at a really great lineup here, man. The East is crap compared to the West this year. Yeah, it's pretty bad. NBA Tankathon has info. Oop, I just knocked down my little Senetsu. Okay, it does. Let's see. Tankathon. I don't even know what I'm supposed to look up with this. NBA draft. Like lottery simulator type deal. Okay, so okay, this isn't as good as we would want. I don't like this. I would have to sim it again. They got the Spurs, as things stand, they got the Spurs at 12, 15, and 16. But that would still be three. That would still be three picks. One lottery pick, but three picks in the draft. And they have the Hornets getting the 8th. Let's see if we sim. It doesn't change. I can see the Hornets, but not the Bulls. Bulls might pull some trades. Bulls have been so strange. Such a strange team. But yeah, anyways, just keep it on the radar. All right, those are the teams that we're paying attention to right now, right? We're paying attention to the Hornets. We're paying attention to the Chicago Bulls. Both of which, those are the two teams that we want to do fairly well. They don't have to do crazy well. All right, a top 10, top 14. You do not have to do crazy well. We just want them to be mildly successful. And then we want the Hawks to absolutely be garbage. We have a good shot, man. We have a good shot. Now our chances of getting Cooper Flag, I don't know. We would have to get extremely lucky. I don't think the Spurs or even the Atlanta Hawks would be bad enough for that. And the Atlanta Hawks only because they have no reason to tank, right? So they're going to be fighting every single game. Meanwhile, you got the Wizards and Sixers that are just... Well, the Sixers don't want to be this bad. Hopefully the Sixers can get a little better. Brandon Miller has been looking dangerous lately. We just have to wait and see, man. We have to wait and see. Hold on, let's go to the Hornets' last few games. Yeah, so take a look at this. Let's see, last few games. All right, so they did lose against the Bucks this last game. We didn't see that. Okay, they've been pretty mid. I'll admit they've been pretty mid. But I paid attention to a few of their games, and they look much better than I expected them to look. So, anyways, we could. It's a possibility. All right. Yes. Hang our hats on at least getting 3. I think the Spurs could very well get 3. All right. That's all I have to say. And that is the good thing about the East, though. It's so bad till it's not like the Hornets have to be like world beaters, and it's not like the Bulls have to be world beaters, right? They can just kind of stay pretty mediocre and still slip in to where we need them to be. It is dangerous for the Hawks, though, but the Hawks, I just don't think they're talented enough. I think it's going to start to fall off. I think they're going to start to fall off. But, that's wishful thinking, too, on my part. Okay, let's see. There was another super chat I think I missed. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, yeah, I did. Professional certified hater says, shout out to the super chatter, man. Thank you so much. You said Castle, one of them ones for real. His defense is beyond his years. It's a small sample size, but Mitch Johnson has coached impressively. Bassy minutes. And you know, he's just showing that he loves his Bassy minutes. Yeah, I don't know if I really have anything to comment on that. Mitch Johnson has been great. Castle has been great. I think that is so cool that he's getting so much praise in the Wemby era, and he can have a bad performance offensively, and everyone can unanimously agree that he's been having good showings. Yeah, I don't know. Clan don't like Mitch, right? Or you do, Clan? I like Mitch Johnson. Who told you I didn't like Mitch Johnson? You guys think I'm negative about everything. I like even Keldon. This isn't even like a Dejounte Murray situation, right? I will say that. I will say it with my chest, okay? I genuinely did not like Dejounte Murray when he was with the Spurs, right? Like, I would go over these things where it's like this drama. Like, let me see. It was so much, and it drove me crazy at the time because it's like no Spurs fans saw this, and they were like, "That's not a problem." And it's like, it is a problem. This is ridiculous. It's always something, man. Let me see. It showed immaturity, and then it was show on the court too that no one wanted to bring up. Thanks for the super chat. Gregory says Castle locked up Curry tonight. Facts. He did. He did. Yeah. Yeah. Gosh, this is an old video. Dejounte Murray drama breakdown. Oh, gosh. Been watching for a long time, Clan. Just want to say good-ish. Keep it up. Thanks, man. Thanks. This is so much love. You're going to make me cry. Yeah. Now, if you want to say Clan, who is Clan a hater of, I mean, I guess you could say Dejounte. I just genuinely didn't like him. Like, I didn't like some of the stuff off the court. Now, this is post Spurs. This is post Spurs, but I know I had more. Yeah, see, like this 4 years ago, Dejounte Murray. Oh dang, look at me. I look kind of different. But like this, Dejounte Murray unfollowed Spurs page. Like, it was like, what was that? And no one cared. He took point guard out of his bio. He unfollowed the Spurs. And you're probably thinking, what was happening at the time? You want to know what was happening? Popovich took him out of the starting lineup and put Derek White because the players thought that Derek White should be in the starting lineup. And that's what Pop does. Pop, that's why he can adjust so well, is that he bases off of what the team needs and what the team wants. And they had Dejounte Murray on the bench because Derek White played to their strengths better. And this is how he reacted after the game. And no one talked about it. Like, so it was stuff like this. You're not going to see any video out here of me talking poorly about, you know, Keldon Johnson character, or when we get to the character part, that's where, even if I don't really know you, I kind of don't like you that much, right? But like, I don't feel that way with Keldon. I like Keldon. I think he's cool. It's just his play style. I just don't think it's conducive to winning basketball. Is conducive the word? Is conducive a word? What word am I looking for right here, chat? Is conducive even a word? He got to be one of the most non-Spurs players. I mean, you don't have to be like perfectly in the box of everything, you know. But you know, he was pretty awful. Look, and this was a tweet that he deleted on the Spurs, but that was after the fact. I was just trying to show ones where it was when he was on the team. These are all kind of fairly new. Hawk subreddit clowns Dejounte Murray. This is all fairly new, but this one was definitely like, because this is before we were streaming. This is before I had a computer. And I was just using my phone. And yeah, this is a breakdown. I don't even remember.
I want some.
Oh my God, that's loud. Semi-famous, and gosh, what a weird setup. You want to know a fun fact? This mic wasn't connected to anything. Also, since then, I lost a lot of pounds. I ended up losing like 100 pounds. Wait, was it 100? Yeah, like 90 pounds. And then I gained some of it back. And now I need to lose like, I'm trying to count, 30. My next goal is lose 30. Yeah, I was a bigger boy. But yeah, I like talked about the whole situation. It was crazy. And yeah, and you like bring up stuff like this and like no one cares. It's just me just like yelling at myself, I guess. Actually, I don't know. This got quite a few likes. Wait, look at this, look at this. Look at this, look at this. And I downvoted it. This is what I'm talking about. And wait, this person is, I've seen this person. I don't know if I've seen them on the chat lately, but so you're telling me that Murray sounds and acts like a young 20-something-year-old kid? Who knew? In other words, he's a normal human being. Even David Robinson speaks about his fame and money going to his head when he came into the NBA. Now we're comparing him to David Robinson. Murray is going to be okay. I'd rather support Murray than talk down about him. It was like, dude, I know he's young, but good God. Come on. It was so much. This was ridiculous. This whole situation with him, his dad, his girl, it was crazy. And another thing he would do would, I mean, I don't want to just harp on it, but like, he would like gaslight the crap out of people. He'd do it with fans. You've seen him gaslight fans where he's like, you know, where he'll say one thing and then come back and say, why is everybody so angry, man? Whatever, man. What? Like, it's like he was just gaslight, like it never happened. But he would do that in his relationships too. Like he would break up with them and then just trash them on social media. I don't know. I hate it. I hated it. This is why I genuinely did not like Dejounte. Without knowing him, I didn't like him. You don't have to like actually meet someone to dislike them. And, you know, he just gave me bad vibes all the time. I praised him when I could. You know, when he played well, I praised him, but no. But it's not that. It's not that way with Keldon. It's not that way with Keldon. Now we're comparing him to David Robinson. Made me spit out my drink. It's crazy. David Robinson also went through some struggles. What are we talking about? What do you mean? Oh, wow, Clan. He's just a young kid trying to figure. It was like, it was so much dumb drama. I'm sorry. He's a professional. He's still on the same stuff. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. I don't know. I guarantee you, though, honestly, that person probably didn't even watch the video. They probably just saw the title and said, Dejounte drama, watched like a minute and was like, oh, Will Clinton, he's just a kid. Keldon is genuinely a good dude, though. He is. I like Keldon. I really do like Keldon, bro. You think I want to talk bad about anybody? I wish he fit perfect. I do like Keldon. And he can fit fine as long as the Spurs don't play him in key situations. You got to use him. I think you need to use him appropriately. Don't have him out there when the game's on the line, things getting tougher, and it's like 3 minutes left. Like, I don't trust him. And he doesn't trust himself. Watch him on defense. He overcompensates all the time on defense. He second guesses himself all the time on defense. I don't trust him. Why are you even wasting time on DM now? I have no idea. How did we? I have no idea. Dejounte Murray brought the bad juju to the Pelicans. He literally got traded from the Hawks and then talked bad about the system. He left the Hawks and then was like, yeah, they didn't use me appropriately. So he talked about the Spurs on how they need to use him more, and then he left the Hawks and argued about how they should have used him more. Like, someone said you didn't like Mitch, that's why you brought up Dejounte Murray. Oh, I don't know how I segued on the Dejounte Murray from that, but yeah, I like Mitch Johnson. He's cool. He's a good guy. He seems like a good coach. What won me over was when he was getting on the players. It might have been Keldon, honestly. It was after like the terrible 3. I think it was right after that terrible 3. I liked that a lot. I was like, dang, he's not holding back. I'm sure Pop is. I mean, he talked to Pop. He said he has. Sure, Pop told him, hey man, it's your squad, all right? Don't think about me. Do what you gotta do. It was because you read a comment about you hating Mitch, so you showed us someone you actually dislike. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I genuinely don't like DeJounte, so. There's no one else on the team. And by the way, I was still cool. Hold on. Oh, yeah. This last thing. I hated this. The truth. I hated this. God, my setup looks so much different. Look. I mean, it's the same, but it's different. Anyways, so in this, I talked about how this tweet where he reacted like this was at the end Josh Primo, and this was what he posted to say, ooh, you made that pick. This is the team you play for, and you posted that. You didn't talk trash about Branham? Oh, I said I don't dislike Branham. I think with the whole like broke thing, I thought that was whack. That, you know, I didn't like that. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. The Branham thing, to be honest. Clan the Chubs fan. Yeah, I was pretty chubby back then. This is the same person, guys. 29 people agreed with this at the time. And I'm sure way more just didn't like anything. So basically, Murray reacted the same exact way 99.9% of Spurs fans did. I appreciate his honest reaction, and I share his thoughts on the pick. He plays for them. Okay, whatever. He was literally going to play with this player. He's going to have to mentor this player that they just drafted, and his first reaction was, that's a bad pick. He talks to the franchise. He could just tell Pop, hey, I thought that was a bad pick. Tell the front office, hey, that was a bad pick. He probably did, and I know for a fact, I heard this, that front office didn't like DeJounte. I agree with you that he shouldn't have made that tweet, but is he lying though? I guess not. I guess he's not lying. Whatever. Oh, look at this. He actually plays for the Spurs, and he knows the team needed an athletic big like Kai Jones. These are the people we were arguing with back then, man. No offense. If DJ Mike, you're still around, all right? I love you. But, like, at that time, I was talking about how Kai Jones, like, after the fact, I was like, I wasn't that crazy about Kai Jones. We could have had Kai Jones. Kai Jones? Fire. I know, right? We could have had Kai Jones. Let us support Primo and dump Brian Wright. Okay, this is a good point. They're just agreeing. I agree with you, Clan. He should have been more respectful. It's different that he does, and that we do that in social media. Yeah, it's way different. That's like DeMar saying something bad about Vassell when he barely was drafted. Haven't seen him play in the court together. That's terrible. You don't do that. Weird reactors goes to Spurs fans. You are tripping. We lost Kawhi Leonard for this very reason. I'm sorry. Why did we lose Kawhi Leonard? Where is this person? I want to know where these people are today. All right, especially you. You are tripping. We lost Kawhi Leonard for the exact same reason. What reason? He wins Finals MVP, and you tell LaMarcus he's the future of the franchise. Who told you? Who told him that? Dejounte Murray and Lonnie are straight beasts on the court. Dejounte Murray and Lonnie Walker are straight up beasts on the court. See, this is why you can't be reactionary, all right? This is why we go on stream and we do these videos, and when we talk about things, we don't talk about it as simple as win-loss column, right? I like to at least look at the team, see what moves that they're making, and base it off of that. As far as what the outcome is going to be, we don't know. It's up to the players. But as long as the franchise did their part, I go and I look at it and say, all right, players, it's up to you. And I feel like the front office has done a phenomenal job, definitely Brian Wright, in putting the right guys together, right coaches together, and they've done well with that. Now it's kind of up to the players, and we're still building. And, you know, we got to get some more players and whatnot. But that's how I see it, and I'm like, that's good. But everyone else is just like, what have you done for me lately? I'm sure Dejounte and Lonnie just had good games a few months ago or something. I don't know. If you don't know that by now, then you don't know basketball. It's Greg Popovich's fault how long he plays them. And when you're growing young stars and give them a heads up, period, it's time that you stop looking at the players' reactions and start judging the office. Point blank. Lonnie had a great dunk yesterday overseas. Yeah, he's not even in the NBA. But okay. He's speaking for the fans, bro. It wasn't a bad tweet. It was a bad, horrible pick. Let the man speak for himself. He has the right to speak. Jeez. The unprofessionalism of a player and how people will vouch. By the way, it's way different, okay? Because I actually like Keldon. But if Keldon Johnson were to be traded, it's going to be plenty of people turning around their thoughts. It's all about like who's on the team right now, who do I actually like right now, what have you done for me lately? It's never like, hey, yeah, actually that is a bad look that he would react that way, like publicly, to a pick that our team just made. And they automatically, I mean, it's a little, well, maybe not fully dogmatic, but it's a little dogmatic to just be like, well, obviously he knows what he's talking about because he's in that position that he's in. No, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Lots of players don't know what they're talking about. Now, I'm not saying I know everything because I don't. But like with stuff like this, I know that was a bad look. That wasn't a good thing that he did. You're not embracing the pick that's coming in. Shut your mouth and work with him when he gets there. But all the signs were here, man. So this is an example of him being on the team. And when I said this wasn't cool, this is the reaction we got. Let's see. How he reacted to the pick is the same as us. DJ is a man of the people. Look, and like, there's my comment right there. That's his teammates, though. My comment was, but that's his teammates. Like, yeah, but like, that's his teammates. Oh, look at this. If your brother got a woman he just met pregnant and said that this is the best decision he's ever made, would you lie and say congrats, or would you tell the truth and react with DJ's face? I didn't even see this at the time. I don't even know what point's being made. I guess I wouldn't say congrats. I would tell the truth privately. I would say it privately, maybe. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for your input. Okay, this is actually fun going back on these. Cause it's so funny because after he actually left and talked trash about the Spurs, everybody was like, "Where'd that come from?" This was how people were thinking at the time, man. Let's see. Even Ruru. Now Ruru was like, I won't talk about Ruru. I like Ruru a lot. She's cool. But like at the time, she was pretty upset with how I talked about DJ. Like every single time she was like, "You just like Derek more." And I'm like, well, I also think he's better for the team. So these people got the weirdest analogy scenarios. I have no idea what the analogy was there. You could have easily just used like a normal job and did the same thing. I miss Ruru, to be honest. She still comes in every now and then or whatever. Who we talking about? We're talking about Dejounte Murray when he reacted to the Primo pick. I'm still on this. I'm looking at old comments and you can see how many people were just wrong. Yeah, you could use like a normal analogy. You could have said like, you know, something happens at your job. I think the analogy I used was, you know, if you're working at Walmart or, well, Walmart, I don't know, Walmart even has this. Do they have that? I don't know. I never worked at Walmart. But if you have like employee of the month or whatever, and someone else wins it, that you go on social media and it's like, wow, I can't believe this I can't believe they chose this person to win it. Like, and you have to work with them the next day. That's not okay. That's not cool. You know? Clan, what happened to Spurs invasion? It's still a thing. I haven't had a lot of time. I've been, I mean, obviously this channel, but I've been focusing on learning Japanese. I have to study for something else. I work. I will get there though. I will get there. Just give me patience. That's all I ask of you. Patience. Because I really do want, I genuinely want that channel to take off. And it will. I just need to prioritize my time a little differently. Let's see. Any other comments? You do know Spurs players talk to each other. I guarantee you all Spurs felt like that he just happened to post that. That is not that serious. It is that serious? And no, I don't think all the Spurs players felt the same way as Dejounte. I think Dejounte is a lone wolf, and we've had multitude of examples of that. A year, because it's 3 years ago. I did a video a year before this talking about it. That he just does stuff. Clan getting testy when invasion pops up. Wait, no, I wasn't testy. I'm cool. Video recommendation focusing on Wemby and Castle. I have one that I was doing on Keldon, and I can do that one after. Some of these people are agreeing though. I'm not gonna lie. Won't be surprised if DJ get traded. I take DJ's face as him saying, huh? Another guard? And that's it. But then who didn't say that? Remember, we have the most money going into free agency and I'll debate you. I like this page. DJ shouldn't have posted that, but I'm sure he does feel some type of way now that he knows who his predecessor is. So, not a big deal. Bro, why you mad at DJ? I saw your live stream last night and you were clowning on this dude, Primo, and you and your boys. So why are you being fake now? Come on, bro. Okay, I don't think that first off, I was very ignorant to the draft, okay? I was like, who is this? What's going on? And then I asked, is he good? And then I was on live stream, I think with Maddie at the time. And Maddie was like ranting, and I thought that was funny. But then I'm pretty sure I talked to Swish the same night, and he gave me more information. Actually, after the Primo pick, I started paying more attention to the draft. That's actually what made me start to pay more attention. Clan, why are you thinking so much about this? Hold on. Also, that's totally different. I said, I am known as a DJ hater myself, but I actually loved him this season, but this felt like old DJ ways. What is this? This kind of disrespectful on social media, really no sportsmanship at all. Please click to DJ for tanking and click to D White for playoffs. I am so confused. This is the same person too. I don't. This was crazy. This was crazy. I think most people agreed though. See the like. Well, the like. Yeah. Well. Actually, I'll be honest with you. Like-dislike ratio for this on this channel. That's a lot of people disagreeing. If 12 hits the dislike versus 84, that's actually a big deal. Yeah, people did not like that take. Also, another big deal about it is 2,000. Well, no. That's 2,000 views. Never mind. Anyways. I'm sorry. We need to talk about something else and then get off. What else we got? Anything else happen? Oops. Let's click this. Mr. Get Off. I get off at my feet. Watch Arcane Clan. Okay, let me put it on the list. I have a very long list. Bro, GNX is so good. Look at my list. It's a movie list. Movie list I created. I add to it every time I get a suggestion. The green marks just mean I've seen it. And it was a banger. Oh wait, guys. Wemby talked. I guess we should look at that. I didn't know we got a Wemby post game. Let me see. We'll roll with this one. I like the, like I told you, I like this angle. I like this angle a lot. Once again, shout out to Spurs Reporter. If you guys want to catch any of the post-game stuff, super quick, mind you. He uploads it super fast. Like, it's like, just like maybe 20, 30 minutes after the fact. He's pretty quick with it. Way faster than the Spurs YouTube channel. But I guess it's because of the angle and using your, I'm assuming a camera. I mean, your phone camera, whatever. All right. All right. Let's take a look at this. Like I said, shout out to Spurs Reporter for posting this on Twitter. Totally missed this. Did not know our GOAT spoke. Oh my goodness, that hurt my ears. I was not expecting to be that loud. All the other ones were so soft.
Slow start, was that just coming off the 4 games off?
Yeah, I mean, getting back in the rhythm, you know, when you sit out, things happen, and you gotta catch the.
Chat, is this audio really bad for you, like from your viewing experience? Because we might just need to go to YouTube. It's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they turned on the air conditioning unit or what. It might be just my earphones, because I'll switch if this is bad. Just tell me. It is bad? Okay. Fuzzy? Okay. Here we go.
Slow start, was that just coming off the 4 games off?
By the way, he looks like he's about tired. He's about tired of all these questions, all right? He's tired. He only has 1 year under his belt. And he's already tired of these reporters.
Yeah, I mean, getting back in the rhythm. You know, when you sit out, things happen, and you gotta catch the train while it's going. So it's
I'm learning Japanese, and in order to understand the grammar, they're using a train analogy. And yeah, that's all I can think about right now. I really need to get off and study. That's what I really need to do. That's what I want to do. But yeah, sorry, that's completely off topic. I want to move to Japan. That's why. Got a friend that lives there. She loves it.
I think what you gotta do in those situations is, you know, play for your teammates and try to fit in.
Late in the fourth quarter when you and Castle playing the ball up and hand that ball off in.
I want us to ask Wemby some questions outside of basketball. Because I feel like every time we ask him something basketball related, it's not as fun, you know? But like if you talk about, you know, tell me the aura of the team, you know, behind closed doors, that's cool, that's fun. But ask him what type of book is he reading, you know? Something might cool come out of that. I care about that. This is just another win. What can you ask him about this game? Maybe I'm just getting sleepy because it's like 2 a.m. right now. But like, what could you ask him? What else could you ask Wemby, you know? What do you say? Wemby, I don't know. When you passed the ball in the fourth quarter, you know, what was going through your head? Like, what do we ask? He just did instincts, high IQ, did what he did. It's going to be many of these. I mean, I don't know. Ask him what he's been reading, his favorite movie. You might get some cool insight. You know? And then ask, like, okay, why is that your favorite movie? Like, what is it about it that resonates with you? And then you get some type of, like, philosophical reason, and it can go back to him as a player, you know? I don't know. Our ideology is a big component of who we are as people, you know? Or we can just ask him, you know, how did the fourth quarter go? So.
Are you thinking he's going to pull it up from that far deep? Or?
I don't know. Today he was on, I don't know, he had something going on. I could feel it. I mean, I think everybody could feel it. You know, he was super locked in. So, I mean, and I have a blind trust in him. As I've said many times, he's playing like he's much more experienced than he is. I don't know where that comes from, but it's a good thing that we can trust him like that.
It looks like I, Clan the Spurs fan, actually know more about the San Antonio Spurs than Wemby here, because Wemby actually, he said that he got it from his parents. That was the last press conference. All right, he said he got it from his parents. That's why he is the way he is. All right, with never getting too high, never getting too low. I know that Wemby doesn't. Wemby, I know your teammate more than you do, my friend. Where are my glasses at? I think I need them.
Blindly, you know, in the fourth quarters.
Barnes told us that that's a good shot for Lindsay, then he figured it was a good shot for Stephon too.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, we trust him. I mean, this way, knowing where we want to go and where we want Steph to be, you know, how important we want him to be in the future. It's for me, it's a necessity that he takes these kind of shots, because we want eventually him to be a menace from everywhere. So we gotta trust him.
We know more about the Spurs than Wemby.
Can you ever imagine having a night where you just tell yourself it's not my night?
These aren't real, by the way. It's just fashion purposes.
That's happened before. Like no, stop shooting, never. But it's but sometimes I wouldn't see it like that. I would see it more like, okay, that's his night. Let's go to him, you know, to any of my teammates.
In case we ever feel smarter than Wemby, all right, I'm going to keep these right on the table, all right? In case we ever feel smarter than any of these players. We're not smarter than them, but just in case.
It could be their night. So I would see it more like that, trying to really, you know, extensively go to somebody because they're hot and they feel it tonight. So That's more like it.
Oh, I'm sorry, Silver. You can't wear glasses for fashion purposes. You have to actually wear them. It's okay. It's okay. My sister gets on to me about that all the time. She's like, I actually have to wear these. You're making fun of my people. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I look good though, don't I?
Yeah, I mean, any night I would just keep shooting. Yeah.
Can you explain how you managed to flip that switch in the fourth quarter? Like, is it like a mental thing?
How you flip that switch in the fourth quarter? I just lock in. I'm just him.
You were like finding your rhythm. Like, how do you?
I did find my rhythm physically because it was a little hard to come back in terms of conditioning in the first half, but second half I was feeling really good.
Oh yeah, he did look a little rusty, a little bit. Four eyes lives matter. That's true. 4-eyed lives matter. That's true. That's hard to say. 4-eyed lives. 4-eyed lives. 4-eyed lives.
So yeah, it's also answering, being there when my team needs me, but also not doing too much, you know. And this is a balance. It's a balance thing you gotta learn as an NBA player, because there's a lot of games, lots of tight games. So yeah, it's something. Is a switch I'm trying to flip on demand, you know.
Speaking of that,
they just need to let Devin be the mono roll off the bench with Keldon, maybe instant offense. I actually think that would be a pretty nice. That would actually be pretty dope. That would be pretty dope. Yeah, that would be good. That would be pretty good. Oh, hey man, hey John. Go Spurs go from Japan. Saw the game and I love the vibe from the team so far. Same.
Balance. When the fourth quarter comes around, does that balance tend to shift more toward, okay, my time, this is where I'm going, you know, to be a little bit more assertive, or I'm going to look for better shots, or, you know, whatever?
Mm-hmm. This is for sure. Of course, during the game, we're trying to have that attitude too, but it's all, during the game, it's also time to, you know, try to use a broad variety of weapons. But surprisingly, in the fourth quarter, this is when we have to come back to more simple things, you know, strong catches, quick moves.
Oh, that's what Mitch Johnson talked about, right? He talked about the fundamentals, that Wemby's fundamentals was much better in the fourth, and that's the most important thing. Yeah, it gets the game gets more simple.
Because it's yeah, we gotta go back to our basics, and this is what every team does, and this is what they try to do too, our opponents tonight. But so yeah, I'd say surprisingly it's more simple things we gotta do before.
Mitch was saying, for you personally, like he thought.
We really need to go on a win streak, guys. This needs to be a habit. I feel like last season losing became kind of a habit, right? And you kept doing the same thing over and over and over, where a guy's mentality, you know, confidence was just shot by the time we got to the second half. They also weren't talented enough to compete all four quarters, but you know.
Fundamentals, your basics were really strong in the fourth quarter. What does that mean to you? For you personally, what are the fundamentals and basics that?
Yeah, tell us about the fundamentals. Also, Mooney says Wemby needs the sky hook. He needs to do the sky hook. He does not need to do it right now. That would be something he has to genuinely work on the offseason about or with. He doesn't need to do it now. But I mean, that would be cool. That would be cool, but it doesn't really seem like that move is coming back. Also, this might be kind of, I don't know. This might be kind of foolish for me to say, or ignorant for me to say, but like, he's already unguardable with no matter what move he does. Does he need the sky hook, or can he do another go-to move? I mean, I feel like a fadeaway would suffice. You know, he doesn't have to do the sky hook. I mean, that would be sick, though. That would be absolutely sick if he could do that consistently. That would be no stopping it.
That's strong catches, quick moves, you know, not holding the ball, but also taking my time.
Yeah, his midi pull-up is unstoppable. Exactly. I forgot what it was, but it was last season. Someone did, like, the numbers, and in order to block Victor Wembanyama's pull-up, you would have to be exerting the same amount of energy and force that you exert when you're trying to block a shot at the rim. So like that would mean you would need a running start and you need to jump basically as high as you can to touch the ball. Like it's impossible. It's impossible. Yeah, you would have to do a chase down, but in front of him with the pull-up shot. I don't remember. Don't quote me on. I don't remember where I heard that. It was some point last season. Okay, but I do want to hear this answer. Sorry.
Quick moves, not holding the ball, but also taking my time, and taking shots with confidence, and taking shots being, calm, with good feet and good preparation to the shot.
Part of that led to the 9 assists. How much satisfaction do you get out of finding your teammates and setting them up for that?
For me, I get a lot of satisfaction because it's something. It's a step in my career I'm currently in, because it's before coming in the.
Clan, the layup is a sky hook. He just needs to get in the post enough to set it all up. Yeah, and in order to get in the post and get in good position, he also has to build strength. It's just, none of this is going to be worked on during this season. Like, I feel like he's going to get better as the season goes on, but like offensively, I think we got what we got, right? Like he'll get a little better, but I don't think it'd be like a huge drastic shift. Which I'm saying that, and he literally scored like 50 points the other night, so I don't even know what I'm complaining about, to be real.
In the league, I never really had 10 assists more, and rarely had 7+. So it's in my development, this is a step I'm willing to take because I'm trying to force teams to guard me with more than one player. So mathematically, it means one of my guys is open, and and for me, I think this is the best way to win games involving everybody.
Victor, what does the locker room feel like different?
That was really nice. I like that.
From last year, how does it feel different?
Oh, that's a good question.
What's going on?
That's a good question. They're they're bouncing off of the last. I do like the framing of this question. So if you didn't hear it, he's asking, how does the locker room look different than it did last year? I'm not a sucker for, unless you absolutely have to, I'm not a sucker for like bringing in his other players into it, because I think that the answer that you get could be slightly altered. So they actually was it Castle or Barnes? I don't remember. It was Castle or Barnes, which neither one of them would make sense asking, but it was about how the locker room looked different last year. And if they would have started off this question with Wemby saying, hey, we asked, so-and-so, how the locker room looked last year, and they said this, what do you think about I don't know, it's a little leading. It's good that you just kind of leave it open, and he can just tell you, like, hey, what's different about this team than last year's team? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sleepy, guys. It's 2:17 a.m. I'm sorry.
I feel like we got some more.
I remember now. It was Castle, because Castle said, "You're good, Clint." Sorry, it's because Castle ended up saying, he said, "I heard about how things were with the team last year versus this year, but I wasn't here or whatever." So it's like that's a good question. So there's something that's been talked about, and you're leaving it open.
More experienced brains in there, so it's a little bit easier at times to I think they find the right words, to first of all to motivate us, but that's always been a thing. We always had energizers in the locker room, but they find those Chris and Harrison, they really find the right words and emphasize the right things, which is a big help, because it's the quickest way to learn, and the will to not make the same mistakes twice has been there all along. But it's sometimes the will to not make the mistakes is not enough, and last year we lacked a little bit of that experience. So this is how the locker room feels right now.
That's why it's only so much Pop can do, right? Like, I mean, it's only so much reinforcement he can muster. I don't know.
Do you feel more connected as a team this year?
No, we've always been really close together.
During the course of the game, Vic, did you have
Okay, so that's what they were searching for. So it looks like it was more so like we just didn't know what we were doing, and now this year we're connected. So good. That's good questioning, by the way. That was really good questioning. He made an emphasis on, he knew what he was looking for. A reporter knew what he was looking for. Guys, that was a great question. That was a great way of phrasing that to get the most honest answer that you can out of Wemby. That was cool.
Was there minutes restriction? Did it come up?
Because I actually interpreted too that there was some type of not drama, but like,
I asked because you ended up with 35 minutes tonight. So
I did.
Yeah,
that's way over
nearly
my.
35 minutes.
That's over my minutes restriction indeed. But I don't. Yeah, I'm not gonna complain now.
There's a minutes restriction. Thanks for the amazing content, Clan. You are and will remain my favorite post-game creator. Aw, that was. Hold on, me. Wait, how do you do the little heart with your? Is it like this? Does that mean something? I'm not doing anything crazy, am I, by doing that? Let's just do this. Thank you. Thanks for the love, man. Man, gal. I don't know. I don't know your gender. It doesn't matter. Thank you.
To win a third straight and be above 500 for the first time this season, is there a different sense of hope going forward, or is this a place you guys always knew that you could be?
Hope is always there, it's and I'm not sure it's the right word. And Chris Paul often says something really interesting. He says,
is he gonna say, okay, guys, I'm putting on my glasses. I didn't pre-watch, right? I've been on live this entire time, okay? What's up, Salinas? Okay, is he going to say that Chris Paul said that we should expect to win? I watch all these post games, okay? All right, we got big brains around here. Let's see. I got the glasses ready. All right, what did he say that was interesting?
Chris Paul often says something really interesting. He says, we celebrate those wins. We're really happy about every single one of them, but we should expect to win. There's no game we should come into not expecting to win. So it's, nobody's surprised by it. Everybody's confident, and let's say we're kind of.
Yes, I know more about the San Antonio Spurs than anyone, especially you, Wembanyama. You didn't hear him say that? I heard him say that a long time ago. You should expect to win. You should expect to win. I'm so happy. Let's hear it one more time. Yep. Actually, yep, exactly. Hold on. Rewind it back. Rewind it. I did not pre-watch this. You guys know I did not pre-watch this. I was on live the entire time with you, okay? Unless that time, like those few seconds when I went to get these glasses, I skipped through and listened to it. Sure, if you want to believe that. That did not happen.
And Chris Paul often says something really interesting. He says, we celebrate those wins. We're really happy about every single one of them, but we should expect to win. There's no game we should come into not expecting to win. So it's nobody's surprised by it. Everybody's confident, and let's say we're kind of.
This is the mentality you need. I love that. The old Spurs, they expected to win, okay? And last year, and this is just Wemby being young, right? Where it's like we won, and he's just losing it. He's just absolutely losing it and going crazy, right? And Castle, he's awesome where, he doesn't get too high to get too low. But Wemby was like, he was quotes like every week. Not every week because we lost all the time, but every time after a win, it was some crazy quote where I'm not criticizing it, but just being young, he was excited to win. He's just like, I love this. I love to win. I love it. It's like, oh my goodness, man, we ain't done nothing yet. You definitely pre-watched this. I did not. I was live streaming this entire time. This got uploaded. an hour ago. Go back an hour in this live stream and see what I was doing. I think I was ranting about Dejounte.
Where we want to be, above 500, and now we have the opportunity to, to fight for a spot in a stacked conference. So we're on the right track. I think we're going up right now.
Just to clarify on the Bangladesh with AD, was that something that just became a bruise that hung around for a while? And
Yeah.
You're over it now?
Yeah. So it was a bigger hit than I thought, bigger bruise. But it's, luckily, it's, of course, nothing's broken. It's just kind of when you get hit,
Check up on French 19.
Oh, no. I don't discriminate, but we're not going through that part. If anybody from France watched that part and you want to put it in the comment section, feel free to do so. No one has put it on the Spurs one yet. But if you guys want to do it on this channel, feel free to. If you want to, you don't have to. Ha ha ha, I'm playing. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. I did actually love that when Chris Paul said it, though. Genuinely, I really did love that when he said that. Because it's true. You look back at the 2014 Spurs, they expected to win every game. We didn't go into it where it's like, we're on our heels or anything. They had the mentality that this is the standard. That's winning a regular season game is bare minimum. That's like bare minimum on what you need to do. Like that, it's as simple as putting your shoes on in the morning. Of course you're supposed to win. Actually, you know what? I think we all should have that mentality. I really do. I think we all should feel that way. I think we all should wake up in the morning and say, I supposed to win. I supposed to have this. I supposed to win. It's mine. We should have the Kendrick Lamar mentality. All right? If you're feeling down and you think you don't deserve certain things in life, listen to this track. Hold on, actually I can't actually play it, obviously. Wait, which song is it? Wait, which song is it? It's a song where he's like, I deserve it all. But none of them are called that. Is it Man at the Garden? Yeah, this one. All right. Listen to this song, all right? Man at the Garden. Go listen to that song. You deserve it all. I deserve it all. Like minds and less enemies, stock investments, more entities. I deserve it all. Listen to this song. Go listen to this song. All right? Clan the Motivator? Not really. I deserve it. This song is hard, man. Go listen to it. I'm sorry. I'm sleepy. All right, we're ending this segment. We're in this segment. But yeah, guys, go listen to this song. This whole album's dope. But yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. I'll be real with you. That part of getting that right, as far as what Chris Paul said, that stood out to Wemby. Yeah, we gotta clip that. We gotta clip that. Yeah, like the stream, everybody. GG's, boys. I'm gonna hop out. Good stream, boys. Good night. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna head to sleep. I'll be honest. I need to go to the gym. I promised myself I would do that today, and I didn't. But also, I would like to study a little bit more Japanese. I'm starting to become addicted to it. I'm trying to get my base down so I can get into immersion. I've been doing some passive immersion. Tried to watch a little bit of anime. It's so difficult when you have no idea what anything means and the structure of the sentences. So as soon as I can figure that out, that's good. Duolingo? No. I'm using so far I'm using Anki Deck. And as far as learning grammar, I'm using this channel, and I have to say, I think the lady I saw rumors that she passed. Oh my goodness, that's loud. No. Okay. She was a VTuber named Organic Japanese with Kurodali. And these are like super informative, man. But she has like a lesson series, and I've only made it to 4. But once I get to 30 and I feel quite okay, somewhat confident, and I'm learning more vocabulary as I go, I want to be able to start my intensive immersion after that, like start watching like kids anime and really start watch Japanese media. Yeah, that too. But right now it's like it's not doing me any good. Like I'm listening to it for the sounds, to like, okay, I can hear this sounds like this or whatever. I'm doing that, but I'm not knowing anything that they're saying. Practice with girlfriend, maybe. She's always correcting me, like, because obviously I have like a crazy accent when I say any of these words. Yeah, she's constantly correcting me, but I want to practice with her, and I'm also going to, this is future plans, I also want to go on VR chat and talk to random people as well, like random Japanese people, like natives, and I also want to jump on, I think it's iTalk or something, and help people with English while they help me with Japanese. I think that would be cool. So Japanese Bluey goes hard. Hey, by the way, is Bluey actually worth I watched like 2 minutes of it and I was like, oh, like I don't really care for this, but like everyone says how great it is. But it's like a little kid's show, isn't it? Everyone says how great this show is. I don't get it. Should I actually watch it? It's a kids' family show? Okay. I mean, but is that good? It's like a more adult Max and Ruby. Oh. Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna check it out. I hope it's beginner's level, like I can understand it once I get to my certain level. Because I'm gonna need some really simple sentences. All right, it's like I'm an infant again. Thanks for the great content, clan. Glad to catch these lives lately. Peace to the chat. Peace out, man. Hopefully you watch some of these videos when they get uploaded. If you missed any of the segments, I think we got like 5 segments that we're going to end up posting. It's for kids, but I think it's smarter than Max and Ruby. Okay. Yeah, I've heard adults love it, but then I'm like, okay, they love it the same way, like kind of like Steven Universe, but I don't think that's the case. It seems a little bit more kid friendly than Steven Universe, so I don't know. I'll check it out. It could be one of my first things I jump to. And I also need to download the thing that will mine anime and shows or whatever. That will take the words and I pick out a word and then put it on an Anki deck. I recently got what is it? Genku maybe? I forget what it's called. I ended up getting it and I hated it. It's cool, but like they use AI and I don't know. I don't like it. I was like, because I'm not sure how accurate this is. But with the context of the show I was watching, it's like, okay, it makes sense. You give me like 20 different definitions, but like I'm choosing the one that I think makes sense for that situation, but I don't know. I didn't like it. $33-13 in the fourth shows our recent wins using our depth was no fluke. Yeah, it shows that when we lock in defensively, it's just kind of insane, right? Like it's kind like we're so difficult to score on. It's so nice too because the paint is just off limits. That's the cool thing about the Spurs, that the paint is just fully off limits. You have to take high difficult shots, and then you have Steph Castle running around guarding you. Add Sohan to the mix, and you just got a nasty combo. Random question, Clan, but do you do NBA fantasy? Nah. Well, I was doing prize picks for a minute, and then I stopped because they added something new on there, and I don't like it that much. It was like you got to compete with other people, and it's like you're just, I don't know, you're just FanDuel now. Like, what are you doing? But as far as NBA fantasy, like just a league just for fun, I've done it like once or twice. I think my team did pretty well. But yeah, I've done it like once or twice. Hey Clan. Hey RR. All right, let's go ahead and jump off. I got some stuff I need to do tonight. Appreciate everybody coming through. I was gonna overexert myself and go ahead and start putting some stuff together, but I guess I can do that tomorrow. But yeah, I appreciate everybody coming through. I will see you on. Actually, let's look at the schedule. How are we gonna do this? Because I won't be here during Thanksgiving, but I can be back at least by Saturday. I think coming back Saturday would be good. Let's see. Got Tuesday. All right, so we'll go live Tuesday night. Okay, it won't be that bad. No wait, we don't play Saturday. Okay, there's a big gap. Oh, we play Tuesday and then Wednesday. I didn't realize that. All right, I don't think you guys will catch me on this game. So you'll catch me for the cup on Tuesday. Wednesday I won't be here. So, but I'll be back Sunday night. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'll be here. I mean, I'm trying to think what I could do. I mean, I could upload a quick video like on my phone. I could do something like that. I don't know. Like quick thoughts on that game. I might have to figure something out for a separate reason, but we'll see. W stream. All right, y'all. You have a good night. I'll see you Tuesday. Bye. Bro, just enjoy your holidays. You enjoy your holiday. Good night, Clan. Good night.